The haunting hour is at hand. Ghostly hauntings since time began. Raw side paranormal seeks the truth, looking for some kind of real proof. Creaky floorboards and eerie dark mist. Grab your camera and document this. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the raw side. A slamming door causes a fright. A shadowed hand appears in sight. Grab your rampods and your K2s, or anything else you can use. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the wrong side. A slamming door causes a fright. A shadowed hand appears in sight. Grab your rampods and your K2s, or anything else you can use. No time to run, no time to hide. We are catching all of this on the raw side. The icy air touches your neck. You feel like screaming, but you stay in check. All's rising up to take the magical flight. You can't believe what's happening tonight. Don't run, don't try to hide. We are catching this all on the raw side. Don't run, don't try to hide. We are catching this all on the raw side.
Hello, hello. Happy hump day to everybody. Hope everybody's having a good week so far. We've survived it to the middle, guys. Just a couple more days. Hope everybody is well. And I first want to acknowledge Pinky. Thank you, Pinky, so much for your gift. You're a superstar. Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate it. And let's say hello to everybody who's come to hang out with us. Hey, Megan and James and Denise and Amber and Kat, welcome. And let's see. There's Sir Roger there. And of course, Ms. Pinky, thank you. Hey, Bill, thank you for joining us and hanging out. And Jenna, welcome. Very nice to see you here. I'm trying not to screw it up and go over here. Did I say Kat? Hi, Kat. How's it going? And Marie, welcome. Firefly, how's it going, sweetie? If I missed anybody, let me know. There's Sir Wayne. Hello, Sir Wayne. Wayne is he's such a great guy. He found me Yorkshire tea, guys. He's sending it to me so that I can try it. So we'll have to do a review. Hi, Tracy. How's it going? I have this thing about teas usually upset my stomach. And I only have one that I could drink around here. And he said the Yorkshire is really good. Hi, Amber. How's it going? I think I said hello, Tracy, but we'll hit you up again. And Sky Talker. Sky was just sending me pictures of her Sockelgangers, and they are so cute. They're going to go in the next issue of the magazine. Hello, Pomp. How's it going? And if I missed you guys, just give me another shout out. Hi, there's Kiwi. And I think Al, no, there's Al. See, I keep finding new ones. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Hello to everybody. So tonight's show, I've been wanting to do for a while. And it's, I think people are confused. When you think of empath, you're thinking psychic or medium, and there's that connection, and there isn't a connection to that. And that's why I wanted to have Florio on, because she has a lot of education in that field. And we're also expecting a couple other gals to pop in if their work schedules permit it. It would be great because they also have an insight to this subject as well. Hey, Chris, how's it going? So, welcome to Lovely Florio, guys. Hello, Miss. How are you?
Hello, how's it going?
No, it's hot and humid here. We're all trying to survive.
Yeah, at least it's luckily got a little bit better here the past couple days, but it's been really warm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed. They say it's supposed to cool down tomorrow. I don't believe them, but we'll see. So that's as far as I can go with that because I'm just dying. I've got fans going, air conditioners going, and there's just no reprieve. Just horrible. Peggy says, I love learning about stuff like this. Yeah, that's what it is. I think there's a misconception between empath and psychic and medium. And that's something that I wanted to discuss. So people can learn the difference between, and because I believe that everybody has some degree of empathic ability. It's based on just gut feeling, guys. It's not like you could foretell the future, but always trust your guts when they're telling you something is wrong because it's always right. And that's I just think that we need to learn the difference.
Yeah, like that's more intuition, what you're talking about, right? For like empath specifically, it's like sorry, hold on, just fix my ear things.
It's okay.
Empath specifically is like being affected by other people's emotions that are in the room, right? Really feeling for people. And I think there's like two aspects to it. There's some people are born with it like really high or ready to go. But a lot of it is nurture versus nature, right? So a lot of it is going to be based on how you're brought up, the people you're around, whether you're able to build upon it or whatever. But there is aspect of nature where some people are like they're born as psychopaths, but there's a different term for it now. So correct me on the politically correct if anyone knows it. But like some people are born with like a defect in their brain and they can't develop emotions, right? So like empath is like the emotional side of it. It's like when I'm in a room, I could walk in a room with someone and I'm in a great mood, but if there's someone in that room like crying or really angry, I'll immediately feel like what they're feeling, and like I get really bad anxiety around a lot of crowds and stuff. Just I feel people all around, like the people, and I don't think that's like a superpower or psychic thing. I think just some people are more in tune to it, and because I was raised to build upon that skill, my skill is very like, I don't know, turned up a lot. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I know like then there's the other side of it. The term empath is being overused or like, I don't know, abused as a term. So a lot of people hear the word empath, they're like, oh, you're some spiritual woo-woo, whatever,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. And then they like dismiss everything you're saying. So it's like now the terms become watered down, but there are people that are empathic. And then there's people that just aren't. Right. And there's people that are in between where like they're a little bit empathic and they can build upon it. But like at this point, I'll tell you, like, why do you want to? Like, to be honest, like I spent my whole life building it, and it's like I can't, like, I'm so affected by people around me, and like I get like really bad anxiety and PTSD because of a past abusive relationship I was in. But like it's like it made life worse. Like it gave me anxiety, right? And you can't really turn it off very, like you can turn it off, but like it's always kind of there, it's a lot of effort to turn it off. Essentially, it's a lot of effort. So very tiring.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And it's hard to explain it to people because I'm the same. It's, you go into a room and you could just feel it. You become overwhelmed by everybody around you. And it still makes a difference where you go in the mall, like big shopping stores and all that. I can't do any of that because it's just too overwhelming. And my response to that is I start to become angry. It's really odd. It's I become angry and like a caged animal and I have to get out. because it's just too
I
much.
definitely feel the caged animal thing. Yeah. I don't get the angry, but you're probably picking up on, because there's a lot of people who are out shopping and they're just angry that they're having to
Yeah.
deal with crowds, and like you're probably picking up on that. I'm picking up on like just everything. It's like oh my, it's like this big rush, right? It's like I can't. So like I avoid, like I can't shop at Costco and stuff like that. I can't. I start to have a panic attack. There's just too many people, right?
Yeah.
Even like concerts, I can't go to concerts unless they're outdoor because I need to be away from the people. Like I need to be
Everybody.
away from
Right.
people.
Right.
Yeah.
Even
And I
family
saw
gatherings.
someone. Oh, family gatherings are like the worst. Like just I'm gonna go drink or I'm gonna sit outside for every hour
in the corner somewhere, right?
Yeah. Well, I
Let me
used to
welcome
smoke, and it was
Dana.
like it was a great excuse for
An
getting away
excuse,
from
yes,
family
as
for
I
5
do
minutes.
too. Going outside and a cigarette.
Yeah.
Hi, Dana. How are you doing, honey?
Hey, Dana.
Hello.
Thanks for joining
Also,
us.
really briefly, I do just want to, just before I forget, someone in chat said empaths attract narcissists. We do. Narcissists
Yeah.
feed off of us, and that's the abusive relationships we always end up in. And yeah, we
Right.
do for sure.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Welcome, Dana. Sorry, I just wanted to.
But that is accurate. It is true.
Yeah. I have an uncle that's a
Yeah.
narcissist, and me and him butt heads all the time. All
Yeah,
the
my
time.
abusive ex, it was 15 years I was with him, and he was such a narcissist. Like he had MPD. I don't know if he was, I think it may have been nurtured in him because he grew up in a broken household and they were all rich. His family was rich, so he's super spoiled. I think they created that. Like they
Oh, yeah.
created him,
Yeah.
right? But also his whole family were kind of like assholes because they were rich. So they had that snobby, like, I'm better than you attitude. So like, I
Right.
don't know. I think the whole family was like that. But, and then once he had diabetes, like he went crazy. It got so much worse. And then I didn't realize I was in an abusive relationship, constantly making excuses for him. And just, he was
Yeah.
draining the life out of me. Right. So
Yeah. They do. They just suck the life right out of you.
they do.
Cree has a question.
Yeah.
Cree wants to know, what do you think when people discount empaths or make fun of them?
Like, sorry, if any of you guys want to talk to, I don't mean to control.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
My ADHD is strong today.
Whoever
Dana's
wants to jump
ADHD
in.
too, so
I'm still getting off of the work mode, so it's like
Right,
it takes a minute.
well, so like with that, what you were saying, Cree, is that's what I was saying before, is I feel like the term has been watered down, and I understand why those people like dismiss it, roll their eyes at us, like whatever. And I get it because so many people say they're an empath, and narcissists now, their big thing now is they say they're an empath and they're not. Like they're you know what I mean? Like it's usually when someone, and there's a rule. Usually when someone says there's something, they're the opposite. But it's different when you're like talking as like someone who's a psychic or ex-psychic, whatever, right? When you're in the spiritual industry, I feel like it is something that we will talk about, and we're being sincere. But I understand, like, it's like, you know, when people say, oh, I'm a nice person, it's like, well, if you have to say you're a nice person, you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things, right? So
Right.
I understand it's been watered down, and there are people that use the term when they're totally not empath. So people can't tell the difference, especially when you're labeling yourself that. It's usually a sign that you aren't that. But I think it's different when you're in the spiritual community because you kind of talk about those labels openly. So it's a tough one. Yeah, like I totally get why people outside of the paranormal and spiritual communities just roll their eyes because the term's been overused and watered down so much, for sure. Yeah.
Right. And your input there, Ms. Dana, how do you feel about that?
I'm kind of in the same way. That a lot. I mean, hold on. I see my ADHD. I just lost the question. Totally there.
It was like
She wanted to know what you that discount empaths or make fun of them.
It's like, you know what? It's like walk in my shoes one day, honestly, and then tell me. I mean, because the people that say that make fun, it's like, okay, make fun of me, fine, but just walk one day when you can't go into a grocery store and you panic because you can't get out quick, and
Yeah.
then tell me. I was like, Bubba's trying to get on. I was like, what is he doing? He pulled a blanket down trying to get on. Then tell me about that, because it's like, and a lot of times when they say, if they find out you're an empath, it's like, oh, you're always emotional about everything. It's like, no, I'm not. It's just that I can feel everything that you're feeling, and it doesn't feel good for me sometimes. So it gets frustrating because they don't understand. They just think that you're moody, and it's like, no, it's not what it is. It's just, I'm moody because you're probably moody, not that. But it literally, I wish when somebody said and makes fun of it or anything, it's like, take just one, even just a couple hours, and see how much stuff runs through you in an hour when you're at a busy place. Like Florio said earlier, I hate like big store. I used to have no problem. Since COVID, like right before COVID and I cannot do.
COVID made it so much worse because we got like what 2 or 3 years, however long it was, a break from people, and it's like, oh, it's quiet now, right?
Yeah,
it's great, it's quiet. And then they lifted the restrictions, and it was like a flood. It was like, oh my god, like it's so much worse.
The first time after COVID, because Jeff was the one going to the store during COVID and that. The first time I went into a store, it was the Myers. That's luckily close to our house. I went in there, and there still wasn't a lot of people in the store, but I had such a bad panic attack. I had to call him to walk me out of the store because I could not get myself out. I was that like inside myself. I was like, I can't do this. And panic, like I could have literally crawled into a corner on the floor and just waited for somebody to come find me and get me out of there. But I called him, and he just talked to me to get me, left the whole cart right there and just walk. And he got me to be able to walk out of the grocery store because I just could not do it. And everybody laughs because they're like, you're an empath, and then you work in the medical field. It's like, yeah. And that makes it even worse because and I work with a lot of critically ill patients. So it can wear on you. Yeah. It can really wear on you. So just wish people.
Yeah, it's like
one day.
Like I always I take care of my mom, and I always tell her, I'm like, there's a reason I don't work in the medical field. There's a reason I don't have children. Like I can't handle it. Like I just can't deal with it 24 hours or like for an extended period. Yeah. So anyone who works in the medical field, like honestly, you guys are like saints. Thank you. And I know you've been treated like shit since COVID, and like honestly, I would never be able to do it.
Yeah, and it's and it's funny because what I work with is the population that was basically, we covered a lot of those COVID patients. So
yeah, it's hard. And the thing is, you like you said, I don't know how much time Dana probably spends crying in the bathroom. When you're working with critically ill, it's just you absorb all of that, and it builds up throughout the day. So I'm sure you're exhausted by the time.
Hey, well, I'm fortunate because I don't work in the hospital side of it. I work in the clinic side of it. Okay. But you get to know your patients when you're seeing them like every month, and they're coming in for medications every month. You start to get to see them quite often, but you start to build rapport with them. And then when you click on their chart and you're like, oh man, they're in the hospital, because you see that they're in the hospital again, and then you're like, hey, just so you know, no, this patient's in the hospital again, and then our doctors are going to know that they need to go check on them. But it gets, luckily I did not work with this department during COVID. I joined them after COVID, which I kind of went from eye doctor to pulmonology. So it's kind of like big difference, but I still worked through with the eye doctors. I worked through part of COVID with the eye doctors until I got COVID, and then I couldn't work anymore. But because we were still having to do emergency eye things. So
but it still comes up. Because like an eye thing, it can be dangerous to ignore. So ask a question, right?
But
I like it's so tough. Like, and like I can always tell not everyone who works in healthcare is an empath, but when you get one who is an empath helping you, it's just they always make me cry because it's like they say something to me and they're just like seeing my soul and I'm like crap.
Yeah.
I start crying 'cause
I think, and it's funny because I think sometimes if you are an empath and you're in the medical field, you have a little like you have more patience with some of the patients because some of them can be very trying,
Oh,
and
yeah.
you have a little bit more compassion with them than some people might. And sometimes that's all they need is just that little bit. And then like so many times, like one person wants to come and say this patient's irate, and then okay, I'll take it. And then by the time, like within 2 sentences, they're calmed down. It's like, what are you talking about? They're irate. They're fine. So it's just,
right.
I mean, you learn how to read people a little bit better and how to handle them a little bit better.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
somebody that's not an empath will have a little bit harder time. But then it also sometimes is not the best because sometimes you can tell things that you don't want to know with them as well.
Yeah, it could be very
and
difficult.
also like also with turning it off too, like I've learned I can either like turn it off completely where I like will come across really cold, but I have to sometimes, you know. But the other one that does interfere is sometimes my ADHD. Like you know when you get the ADHD anger because someone's interrupted you when you were like in the zone or you're trying to like organize your thoughts and you're having like you have an executive dysfunction in this moment and you're like can't handle, you're trying to figure out what to do and you don't know where to go. It's like those moments are like that's when I like crack. That's the ADHD takes over. It's
prior that is my prior auths. Whenever I have to do prior auths, my ADHD kicks in and I'm like in a panic mode trying to figure out, it's like, oh my God, please let this one go through. If I do this, is it going to do this? Is it going to go through? Because it's like that's one of the worst things when a prior auth does not go through. Because then it's like, oh my gosh, so here comes the denial. Now I got to redo it and figure out why I did it and what happened. But even when you're looking at with patients though too, it's the same thing. They just, I mean, it's like when you have an ADHD moment and it's like, okay, I need to focus. I have 15 minutes. You have 15 minutes with this doctor. So that's from the time I get you in the room, you have 5 minutes with me and then you go to the doctor. And then they want to tell me their life story with their medication. I'm like, I just want to know your medications. Let's go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are the times where it's like, that's thing you'll sometimes meet people that are empaths and you might see those moments, but it's like, there's other aspects. You can still be an empath, but if you have ADHD or if you're just turning off the empath because you have to, because I will go cold sometimes if I have to. Right. And it's like, so yeah, like, I understand too, where maybe people that aren't empaths are just watching us and they see, well, you were really cold there. You can't be an empath. It's like, well, but it's situational.
You learn how to control it.
Yeah. I mean, I've learned at work, I turn off everything when I'm at work. And then I'll turn it back on when I'm off work. But with everything situational wise, like, and with our family and that, I've turned everything off since January. I've not had anything on. Just bits and pieces while I turn on. And I did have an experience with my mom that kind of freaked me out because I had everything turned off, but I had a situation that's like, this is not supposed to be happening. I'm not supposed to be hearing my relatives that passed away talking to my mom and hearing the whole conversation and understanding the whole conversation. That kind of threw me off because it was like, I'm like, okay, I've never had that happen where I've had everything turned off and
it's still, you still heard stuff.
Yeah, because I've had a lot of mine turned off too because I'm taking care of my mom too, and it's like they've told me like,
same here. I've got to take care of my mother.
And they've told me like I have to let her fail to like learn, right? So now it's like I have to have it off, like I have to turn it off because otherwise, like I have to let her fail, and if
you won't make it through the day,
like you watch them, but then also too, it's just like frustrations too of the whole situation too. It's a tough one. So it's like lately I've been turning it on when I've been working, but I think because I'm making videos and I'm getting angry at people who are hurting people, I think it works for the YouTube, you know?
It's good for good content.
Liz
wants to know Liz wants to know, how do you all feel about palm reading?
Just to remind y'all too, like empath is not a psychic, right?
Yeah.
Now people who think they're
Exactly.
psychic, whatever, I'll tell you, like, there's no such thing as psychics, but whatever, let's say you believe in psychics, that's an intuitive, right? That's different from empath. Intuitive is like your gut feeling, your intuition. Everyone has it, right? Psychics build upon it, but all they're really doing is building self-awareness, because I've been trained this my whole life. All you're doing is building self-awareness, and that self-awareness is helping you recognize moments where your gut is like, hey, fight or flight, come on man, listen to me, right? But still, you also still let red flags fly and you ignore some stuff, and then it always blows up back in your face. So that being said, I enjoy astrology still. I enjoy playing with my tarot, palmistry. It's all the same. It's all the same stuff, right? Numerology, all that. I just do it kind of for fun at this point, but like, don't
Right.
take it seriously. Don't take any of it seriously. Don't like pay anyone. Honestly, just like recommend, don't really pay anyone to do any of it. Be really cautious of people's motives, right? Like really look into the person if you're going to get something like that done. Look into the person, because it's not always about money too. Some people like having power over someone. A lot of narcissists become psychics
Oh,
because they
Oh,
enjoy having power over someone, and they enjoy being the person that people come to when they're panicking about life or they need advice, right? They enjoy controlling people's lives. They're like one step away from a cult leader. So
yeah,
yeah, that's
it's something
scary.
too. Like if you're looking to do even, this is how I base it though too. If you're looking to do like tarot, palm reading, any of that, if you want that done, when you're looking for somebody, if you don't get a good vibe on them when you're like sitting right there, when you're standing from, don't do it. It's like you
Right.
gotta have to kind of have a little bit of a click, I think, for it to.
yeah.
I mean, because like if people laugh, I will only have Reiki done by two people. Two people. That's it. I only trust two people.
No, it's the same. It's like I don't do Reiki or believe in that stuff. My mom's master Reiki, whatever's. So I grew up with that too. But like I'm the same like massage. Like I'll only
Oh,
let one person massage me,
mhm.
because like everyone else is like, first of all, you're naked. Second of all, it's like
Yeah.
they could touch me the wrong way because I have fibro, and they could like be a
Yeah.
little bit too heavy handed or
Yeah.
whatever, and then I'm
Thank
screwed for like a month, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same as any medical practitioner, right? It's like just people that, because you're in a vulnerable position when you're opening yourself up to medical treatment, which Reiki medical treatment,
Yep.
I don't consider it, but whatever, some people believe in it, all right. It's still a medical thing, so like you're really vulnerable in those moments, but do be aware, because I like, again, I don't know, I'm sorry, I keep repeating myself, and I'm talking a lot with ADHD. I do apologize. Just be aware. There's a ton of narcissists who are in this field, and they're really good at masking. They're really good at pretending to be an empath. They're really good at pretending to be a nice person and pretending to be caring. And if you're an empath, you will fall for it like those people very easily. They're very sneaky and they're very good at it. Especially empaths will fall for those maskings. We tend to fall for maskings with narcs. I don't know why, but we do. Yeah.
Oh, because like you said, they're
So
really
keep
good
that in
at
mind.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really
They
good at
are.
it.
Yeah. There's some
Pinky is
people that clock it really well, though. Yeah.
yeah, they do.
Sorry.
Pinky's got a question.
Just
She says,
interrupt
do
me.
you think it's all right? Do you think that neurodiverse people become empaths a lot due to having more heightened senses?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Actually, because there's a weird thing that I do. I don't know if anybody else has ever experienced this. The palms of my hands are always hot. I have no idea why. They just always are. And when I touch
Yeah.
my husband, I can actually suck the energy out of my husband because he yells at me every time, stop doing that. He can actually feel himself losing energy.
Hmm.
And I've never thought of
Yeah.
who the hell can I ask, because it's a really odd thing and it happens, but it's
I mean, that's the Reiki stuff. When you go to learn it,
Yeah.
right?
I was gonna say Florio and I are a little bit different on that, because like I do a lot, because everything I do is Native American based, like with my Reiki and everything. But that is something that like I thought the first time I experienced that, like somebody putting their hands next to me, and I was like, dang, I can, and I opened my eyes, and it's like their hands were right where I expected them. But I think, and not even being like with Reiki and empath, I think that's just like a natural thing. Because like when you're sitting, like with my dog, if my dog's sitting close to me, you eventually the heat, you pull the heat, you're going to pull heat back and forth. It's just some people feel it, I think, are more sensitive to feeling it than others, because I do it to
Right.
Jeff all the
Yeah.
time. Well, I do it to Jeff all the time with cold hands, but
Yeah, no, my hands are always hot because he yells at me,
Yeah, my
"Stop touching me! You're
hands.
hot."
Yeah, my
Like that.
hands get hot certain times of the day. I hate it. Like I prefer them to be cold.
Right.
But yeah, that's sort of like okay. Like don't take my advice. I'll tell you, Laura. When I was in it, I'd be telling you, oh, you are a good candidate for Reiki training if you're doing that automatically, right? We do kind of like give people our energy. I tend to do it by accident because the empath happens, or we
Right.
take people's energy, right? But there is some physics behind this, okay? That there is like an energetic field around us, and that's why you can sense when someone's kind of staring at you. Like a lot of people, like it's not everybody, but some people, we can sense when someone's staring at us, or you can sense
Right.
when someone's right behind you, right?
Yes,
It's like
all
we
the time.
have an energy field around us. And Reiki, I don't think it's mystical. I think if anything, it's just like it's the same as like when you're feeling positive and you're in a good mood and you give someone a hug and that just helps them feel better. Like it's like one of those
Yes.
things. That's how I kind of see it. It's like I don't think it's mystical. I think it's just sort of sharing your like good mood, or you're like caring or something with somebody, right? And you don't have to touch them because we can be fairly far away from each other and still sense that there's a person in
Right.
the room, because
Right.
there is an energetic field around us that the physics is saying is there. The math shows that it's there, but they can't test it necessarily, right? So
Exactly.
yeah.
So yeah, but it's good. Yeah, because like I said, yeah, I do it to him all the time, and I do it on purpose, and he gets mad at me. So it's
Yeah. I
I'm
tend to
taking Brad.
like
Thank you for the
give.
membership. I appreciate
Yeah.
it. And hi to everybody that's popped in that I missed. I'm sorry. We're trying to get caught up
Yes.
here.
Hello, everyone.
Hello and
Sorry,
welcome.
hello.
my like very short stream I did right before this. I did tell you guys it's a high ADHD day, so I'm like yappy. So
So yeah, we're just trying to get hello to everybody. Let me see. Uh okay, then I'm not gonna put that on there. Weird shifts. Hello, ladies. Okay, hey Pomp. Double K, hello. If I missed you guys, I truly, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna try to get caught up, see if there's any more questions. Hey Purple, how's it going? Yeah, it's let's see. Keep up with the chat, crazy phone. Oh, that's okay, Kat. Do the best you can. We'll just be here rambling along. Yeah, it's but like I said, oh, here's a question. There we go from Wayne. Florio, have you ever had acupuncture?
yes, yeah. So so I was raised like it was all Native American or Chinese medicine. Okay. I was raised initially in a dojo, like raised, this is weird. My upbringing was very strange. So like from age, I don't even know, as far as I can remember, until like age 7, I was in a dojo. So I did like tons of Chinese acupuncture. And when I was very young, I caught pneumonia and I almost died, or I think I did die at one point or something.
Oh my goodness.
I was in the hospital. It was bad. It was bad. So after that though, then I kept like falling or fainting and just randomly like at one point I like zoned out and I just walked into a pool and just stood at the bottom like I was drowning, and my mom's friend had to jump in and save me. There was no reason for me to do it. It just happened, right? So I had all these weird sort of moments where I'd be out of it and just fall or faint, and then they put permanent acupuncture into my ears. My sensei did, and it stayed in there for 6 months. And it did work. It fixed it all, right? But that being said, he was really good. And I've gone for acupuncture since then, and just no one is as good. And I think because he's traditional Chinese trained, and even though people say they're traditional Chinese trained, it doesn't seem to hit the same. But I will say, like, it only works for about 12 hours for me for pain relief, if we're talking pain relief.
Right.
So I only go when when I used to have herniated discs and I literally couldn't stand up or move or go pee. Like, they'd ship me over there in the morning. It was awkward. I get the acupuncture, then I could move for 12 hours. So I could, like, get out of bed, go pee, whatever, and then I'd be done again for the end of the night, and I'd go again in the morning. So, like, that's what I used to do when I had herniated discs, but it doesn't last very long. And I just
Right.
haven't been able to find, like, a true Chinese, like, acupuncturist since. But also, because I have migraines, Kristen told me she got the piercing in her ear for migraines and that it works
Oh,
really well.
yes.
And that's an
My
acupuncture tech.
daughter, my daughter
Yeah.
got that. Works really well.
Yeah, I
I
have
think
somebody.
I'm
I know
gonna
somebody
get
that's good
it.
at. They say it
I
works.
think I'm gonna try it. Yeah, they say it works. It's just I'm a side sleeper, so I've never been able to heal earrings on my ears very well. I used to have tons of piercings, and they would just constantly have problems. So I'm gonna try it though, because I'm sort of at my end of the rope. I've tried everything for migraines, so I'm
Right.
like I think I'm gonna go get the piercing done too.
Yeah.
So
It can't
I
hurt.
do. There's something to it too, because I go for nerve block injections every 2 weeks, and there's certain points that they inject lidocaine into,
Mhm.
and that works. So, like, there's something to connections somewhere. Like,
Yeah.
I think that
Right.
there is something to it.
Because
Yeah.
I know I've had the acupuncture done for my shoulder and worked amazingly. It was like, because I was having nothing that was really helping to get the pain away. And so they actually did that. And then I was in physical therapy for my neck because I didn't know I had so many bad discs in my neck. And they did it
Yeah.
one time, and it was like, okay, this helped to get just to get me going, to get me back on track. So I was like, all right, that worked. But I mean, I don't have to do it all the time. But when I start really getting, I can go, and it's just like they just one time, and it lasts quite a long time for me. So
Yeah, pain relief doesn't last very long. It's like when I'm really desperate, I'll go just to get that break. Or the other thing that does help is I get really bad sinus congestion from allergies. So sometimes I'll go and it'll release my sinuses.
yeah,
And it just like is like, oh, finally, So it's really weird. There is something to it, like medically, I think, because of the nerve block injections. I don't know all the full science behind it, but I do think it works. It just doesn't always last very long, and it's very expensive for something that only lasts for 12 hours for me. So
yeah, and it's crazy how people are so different. And like some people, it can
yeah,
last for me, it lasts months, and other people, like for you, it's just a matter of just a little bit enough time. So
yeah.
Yeah, because I've thought about, because people have asked me if I would go because of the fibro, and I'm like, I highly doubt it's going to do anything for me. And then to find somebody, like you
It's
said,
worth a shot.
that knows what
Yeah,
they're doing.
find the right training. The right training is the key. It's very difficult, right? Like, I've never been able to
Exactly.
find someone the same as my sensei. Oh my god, I'm not saying it right. Yes, Kat, occipital nerve blocks. I do get some points for that too, for the migraines as well. Yeah. And then I go and get the Botox, because the Botox also freezes, like, points that the acupuncture would go into. So, like, there is some science behind these spots around
and
your
it's
body.
crazy too
Yeah.
because some people, which I've had it done once, that rather than having the acupuncture, they will do tapping like in those same spots, and they do like this
Oh, yeah.
randomly weird
Yeah.
tapping. It works the same way. Because some people are like kind of iffy about having, like, especially around their eyes and their
Yeah,
nose.
the
They're like,
needles. Yeah.
but the tapping, I've seen several people that have had the tapping, and they're like,
Yeah.
well, why didn't I do this first? So
It's like, for anxiety, I learned tapping on your collarbone or tapping in your inside wrist, and that
Sorry.
stops a panic attack a lot of times. Well, you count with it too. There is something to tap, because there's reflexology, right? Which is
yeah,
like
I have a point.
acupuncture, but like
Yep.
massaging certain points, right?
Yep.
And then there's fascia massage as well that helps with pain too. I did a little bit of that. It was all right, but it was expensive, because it's one of those things you got to keep up with, and it's very expensive, right?
Right.
This stuff is not really covered. This is like considered the woo-woo stuff according to insurance companies. companies.
Yeah,
So
they
you're
won't
kind
cover
of paying
that.
out of pocket. Yeah. It's like I only pay for something if it lasts, right? It's got to last a fair amount of time. And I kind of look at the cost versus the benefit and then decide from there.
Yeah, my friend at work, she's loving it right now because she's having issues and it's not, they can't figure it out because it's not her, they just can't figure out what's going on. They thought it was, they thought it was a pinched nerve and it's not because it's nothing's worked for it. So I do this random like pull on her and she's like, I should every day, can you do this? It's like, yeah. So I do. And she's like, oh my God, that. And she says it's actually working where I don't have to do it as often on her. So it's like, okay. So she says, I said, you need to teach your husband to do this because if somebody, I mean, literally I'm in the office, I'm doing this and it's like right at her butt. I said, people walk in, they're going to be like, what are you doing? I'm
Right. What the
like,
hell's going on here?
but I mean, and luckily everybody knows we were friends before we started working together, so they know okay these
Oh,
people are
good.
weird
Yeah.
anyhow. But
Yeah.
I was like, but I mean, and she's like, okay, I said, teach your husband how to do this, and it works. So
Yeah, gotta
Yeah.
do what you gotta do.
Oh, and then head massages. Yeah, Wayne. I used to try to I try to do a bit of massage in certain points when I have a migraine. It helps a little bit, but like it just helped as soon as I stopped doing it, pain's back, right? But the one day I booked a haircut and I had a migraine and it wasn't going away. I took like the meds for it, everything, nothing was going away because I have prescription meds. But I was like, screw it, I'm just gonna go for the migraine. I'm gonna get some coffee on the way, whatever, or not migraine. I'm gonna go for the haircut. So it was a fancy place because I'm at the point now my hair's so long that it's like I may as well just go to a fancy place because everyone charges me the same high price. So
Right.
she did a head massage on me. Like she shampooed my hair like 3 times and did like this deep condition head massage for like I was in there for a while. And man, like afterwards I had like no pain anywhere. And I was like, that worked really well. I wish
Wow.
that I could like do that for 10, 15 minutes.
I actually there was one guy that used to do my hair. Actually, the 3 guys I've had ever do my hair, all 3 of them, I laughed. I said, I will literally pay you just to come in here weekly and just rub my head, or even just wash my head and do the massage.
Yeah.
I will pay you just to do that. And they would laugh. I'm like, oh my, I would like literally fall asleep because it's like they do the massage for 10 minutes and it's like, okay.
Yeah, it's a long time and it works. And I was thinking about
Mhm.
doing that. Like I had a migraine the other day and I'm like, I feel like I want to just go in and get my hair shampooed, like because I just want the massage. you
Yeah.
know?
Right.
It's funny though,
Yeah.
because at work, you can always tell when I'm getting stressed at work because I sit back and I'm doing this to myself, and people are like, what the heck? And it's like, but it's
Yeah.
enough to get me back because the ADHD kicks in and it's like I'm stressing. So it's like if I start doing that, and it's like, really? I do it to my friend too, because I can tell when she's sending me messages back about patients or I can hear her, I'm like, all right, I'll run back, I'll run up to the call center and be like, and I just do that to her, and she's just like, I'm like, yeah, see, it works. It calms you
Yeah,
down.
it's so relaxing. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
I think that's part of it. The
helps.
relaxation is what helps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
no, I know like Florio, you share the fibromyalgia like I have. Do you find that it
Mhm.
heightens your empathic senses? Seeing that,
Yeah.
it's a nerve condition. Do you feel heightened because of it?
So it's interesting because like I have another friend who has fibro, and then so I have 3 best friends, but 2 of them, the 3 of us, we call ourselves the Golden Gals, and we all complain about our pain. So one has MS, and the other one, KK, y'all know she has fibro too. So we're all empathic as well, and we're all like, talked about intuition, tarot cards, and stuff. And I used to do even more seriously with them too.
Hi, Emmy.
And we talk about this as like, did we get, because I see other people talk about it online, did we get fibro because we're empathic? You know what I mean? It's like, did we get this because of like, as soon as we experienced trauma, it was too much? Now, keep in mind, they're saying fibro is an autoimmune disorder, and it does seem to be genetic. And I do have it from my grandpa's mother's side and my grandma's side. I got it from two genetic paths. So we're going to get it. My family's going to get it. Right. But fibro doesn't kick in until like a trauma happens.
Mhm.
And when my fibro kicked in was like I had a botched wisdom tooth surgery. It was bad. I had to go during SARS. It was so stressful, and I had to go for multiple surgeries to fix it. And then I had a car accident, and I was living in an abusive relationship. And sometimes I wonder, I'm like, if I wasn't living in that relationship, like if I wasn't in that, would I not have gotten fibro? Because my grandma didn't kick in until she was a senior, right? Until her hip broke. So I'm like,
Right.
would I not have kicked in? You know what I mean? Like, would I have had more time if I wasn't living around someone who's so angry all the time, and it
Yeah,
weakened me,
it's
you
funny
know?
because I know from what I do, and the people that do come in with the fibro and like MS and that, a lot of times it was just sitting there, and something trauma, like some type of
Yeah.
trauma or some type of something happened, and it's almost like it was a shock to the body, and that's when it kicks in and it
Yeah.
just flares up everything, and that's when it sets in, which because at first
Mhm.
everybody's like no, but it's like when you start seeing patterns of like when you're looking at people's, it's like, oh yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. It's like I remember having a bit of pain when I was really young, and I was always told, oh, it's growing pains, but it was like manageable, right? But like I said, I almost died when I was younger, and I had this weird kidney thing, and they tried to do the surgery on me without. It was weird. They tried to do a procedure on me without putting me under, and I just remember I attacked everyone, and then they decided not to do the procedure. And after that is when like I started feeling more growing pains. It was like a bit of trauma when I was young, and then it caused some growing pains, right? And it's like, yeah, it's like it's one of those situations like, would I have handled the car accident better or the wisdom tooth surgery better if I wasn't living in a very bad environment? You know, like I
Yeah.
was where I was trying to heal and I was around someone who's angry at everything all the time and like punching holes in walls. Like, would I not have ended up this bad? You know,
Right.
like
Yeah.
definitely some sort of trauma triggered it. But the empath thing, I do think like makes it worse, or maybe makes it, I don't know, it's weird. And technically I do have MS too, because my whole thing started with an MS attack in my eye, right? So like, did that start because of the trauma I was going through? Like it's one of those things where I'm like, I think trauma causes a lot of stuff, and I think when you're an empath it's like hits way harder, you know.
Right.
I do think there's an aspect to it for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, that's fine. I was good until, I mean, I've done the same kind of work, dental laboratory work, for 30 years, and then just one day in the left arm, started with tennis elbow, and then it just exploded, and went right up the arm, and just completely consumed me. And ever since then,
Wow.
it's been almost 30 years I've had to live with it, and it was brought on by what I did for a living. And I'm the only
Yeah.
one in my family that had it at the time, and then now my sister has it.
It does seem to be genetic. Like honestly, it does. They are saying like a lot of it is genetic links.
Mhm.
Personally, I do believe, not to go on a fibro rant here, I do believe fibro is a form of MS, because I went down the path of being diagnosed with MS first, and I learned a lot of stuff. There's other people with fibro who have went down this path first, MS first. We all
Right.
have lesions on our brain. If you go and get an MRI and you have fibro, like you're going to have lesions on your brain. They're just not going to be very big or very numerous for them to give a crap, but you will have some. So I do believe fibro is a form of MS. And MS, if you get stressed at all, it makes your MS flare up and it makes it worse. And that sort of happens with fibro. Like they're such similar diseases. I ended up making good friends with a bunch of MS people that I met through my neurologist's office. And like, it's like we shared symptoms like to a T, you know? Except like with MS, it's way more debilitating because it does more damage to your body. Right. So it's interesting because MS too, it's another disease. Like if you have trauma or stress around you, yeah, it's going to get worse, you know. And women tend to get these things more, and women tend to be natural empaths because it's our nature. So like, I think that's why we have a higher prevalence of getting these disorders too, because of the empath side of us, right? So I do think it plays a role. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting. But yeah, it's and Dana, you don't have fibro, do you?
Mm-mm. But
you have a list of others.
it's funny though, because I actually this is funny. I actually had carpal tunnel surgery done. And when I did the when they did my testing for, and the only I don't even, the reason I got got it done was because I was having some migraines, like really bad migraines, and because I get cluster headaches, which sometimes are worse than
Mhm.
migraines. And
Yeah.
so I got the so they did my testing, and they're testing me, and the dude's like, "You're not feeling this?" I'm like, "Eh." And he's like, "Are you sure?" He goes, "Let me test your other hand." I was like, "Okay." So usually when you get the EKG done, usually you're responding at 8 is a significant amount for them to do carpal tunnel surgery. I didn't respond
Mhm.
until they were at 14 on my left hand and 18
Oh,
on my right. I didn't know. I mean, I wasn't, but see, I didn't have any of the common symptoms of having
right.
like my hands hurting or anything. So I was like, okay, had the carpal tunnel surgery done in both hands, no problems. Then
Really? You have both hands and you were good? No
I actually
issues?
did one.
Wow.
I did one. I did one. They did them a month apart. But I mean, I've
Oh,
not had
you're a
any problems with
fast
them.
healer then. You must
Yeah,
be a
well,
fast
it
healer.
was, I had a really good surgeon that did them.
Yeah.
And I mean, he did really well. I've not had, like I said, I didn't have any issues. I was like 2 weeks, I was pretty much able to I still was a little sore,
Wow.
but not to the point of
That's
like,
great.
yeah, I
That's
just had,
amazing because I've heard horror stories. So yeah.
yeah, no,
Oh,
see, but that's the thing too. You got to make sure you're going to a really good hand surgeon, but also the
Yeah.
type you get, because like usually if they're cutting you down here, you heal. It takes a lot longer. I got cut in my palms. You can't even tell where I got cut because he goes with
oh,
the
Oh,
lines,
fantastic.
interesting.
and it makes
Oh,
a
wow.
huge difference when you get them done.
Interesting.
Also, if
Okay.
they do a block, they'll do a shoulder block on you, and if you get that done, then you have like the first day you're going to be numb, but then the second day you start coming out of it. My left hand actually didn't hurt as bad. My right hand was obviously worse, so it hurt more when afterwards, but
Yeah, you're
it
right-handed,
wasn't,
right? So
yeah.
yeah. Okay.
And but it, I mean, it still wasn't that ridiculous of like, I thought, okay, people were like, I mean, I was back to work in after a week. So,
That's
and
crazy.
but I was
Wow.
still, but I was making sure I was taking a break every hour, a
Right.
Mhm.
10-minute break, icing my hands, putting
Aftercare
on
does matter. Yeah.
my, yeah.
Yeah, a
But
lot.
so had that done, no problem. I ended up, I had to go with a therapy for, for my shoulder. I don't remember what I did, or I hit my elbow. Oh, I fell and hit my elbow. And so
Mm.
I rammed it into the wall. So it was still bothering me. Went to ortho, and they're like, okay, well, let's go ahead and have you do an EKG because we can't figure out it's not broken. So I went and did this test. And again, they're like, well, you probably have carpal tunnel. I'm like, no, it's impossible. I had it done. No way. They're like, wait a minute. So then they go, let's get the doctor. And so they got the doctor because it was two students because it's a teaching college that I went to. And
Mhm.
so the doctor came in. He's like, does your neck hurt? And I'm like, no. And he goes, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. Why should it hurt? He goes, you got a neck injury. I'm like, what? And he goes, do you ever
Oh, wow.
remember
Mm.
hurting your neck or anything? I'm like, no. And so he goes, all right. He goes, well, you need to go back upstairs to ortho, and they need to talk to you. So I go back up there, and they're like, yeah, it's like everything's clear from your shoulder down. He goes, except when you get to about right here, there's some issues. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, you have three vertebrae that are not good. And it's like, they go, you're not in pain? I'm like,
Mm.
no, no pain. They're
Wow.
like, you're no, I'm like, no, no pain. And they're like, okay. And then we did the MRI, and it's like, sure enough, I now I know I popped another one now because just the way it felt. But I'm like, I won't go have surgery. I mean, occasionally my neck hurts, but it's just, I've learned, they've taught me how to kind of sleep with pillows and kind of tucking it so I
Right.
don't hurt my neck. Um,
Oh, really?
And I
I'd
just,
like to later on. I'd like to know how you do the pillow thing because,
yeah.
because
And
I like all the discs in my neck are herniated from
okay,
whiplash from
yeah.
the car accident. So
Yeah,
yeah,
because I'm C, the C4 is the like right at the base of C4, 5, 6, and then 7. So it's like,
yeah.
okay.
It's like every single one of mine is herniated in my neck, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But
Yeah.
so
Hi,
they're saying
Jonathan.
that caused your shoulder pain and your headaches. Is that what
Yeah.
they're saying?
And so that's what was causing it all. I was like, okay, but so now that I've learned to take care of this and we're prolonging it as long as I can without having to have any type of surgery, I've learned
Mhm.
just like doing kind of some exercises, like when I know my neck's starting to get a little sore, what I need to do. But then, like I said, how I lay with my pillows, making sure
Okay.
like everything's adjusted for myself, the right height and everything at work. But I was like, who would have thought? I mean, who would seriously have thought that having those necks and not knowing that you have that bad of an injury and you don't even recall ever hurting your neck that bad to
Right.
have that kind of injury.
So
That is
did your
interesting.
carpal tunnel cause your migraines, your headaches too?
That's what they're thinking, that the carpal tunnel was just the trigger
Really?
because I was having really bad migraines and cluster headaches, and those kind of went away after I had my migraine surgery or after I had my hand
The
surgery.
carpal tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
That's really interesting because like I have
yeah.
some carpal tunnel, but it's a very small percentage. They say I shouldn't even feel it, but the fibro you feel it.
Yeah,
You feel
'cause I mean,
everything.
I
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
literally, like I said, I didn't even
So
know I
it
had
sounds
it.
like your pain receptors are very like you don't feel pain until it's bad.
Yeah, well, and it's funny
Wow.
because I am like the biggest wuss when something hurts. I'm like complaining right away. Now, my brother has a super high pain tolerance. Like if he says something hurts, you're going to the hospital right now. I have a very low pain tolerance, so it's kind of like, but it's just I worked. I guess because I worked through it and I didn't realize it. So,
Right. Right.
but
Wow.
but we laughed because it was like, yeah, I'm like, okay. And because the elbow pain, it was like, well, the only thing, because then they're like, well, maybe the nerve is pinched because they're like, you're everything's going through. So it's like they were just thinking like a rotation pinched nerve. And it was like, we went through a little bit of therapy and it was like,
Mm.
okay, it went away. And
Wow.
but now we found out though, I cannot get massage. If I do get a massage, they cannot touch anything from my shoulders up
Up. Right.
because
They'll mess
That's
you
why
up.
like that's why like I only go to my one massage therapist because she changes the like pressure depending on the part of the body and that
yeah,
does help. Like that makes it
Right.
work, right?
yeah,
But yeah, it's like if anyone else touches me, like I'll be like bedridden because
yeah.
they go too hard.
My
Yeah.
friend
Yeah.
that does
You
my
gotta be real
Reiki,
careful.
she'll do like
Mhm.
Reiki and massage at the same time. And so, but she's really good because she does it the same way my therapist does. She
Jeff,
actually,
that was funny.
that is funny. She she actually will hold my neck in a certain way, but it's not, and just kind of put and hardly any pressure, just moving the fingers
My massage therapist does that too. She grabs like the base of my head
head,
and just
yeah,
kind of
and then
pulls
just
very
Well,
and
slightly,
yeah,
yeah.
and
that
then just yeah,
helps. It's so nice. It
and
works.
That's what my
but no,
chiropractor does.
yeah, and it's so
Yeah.
nice because it's like, oh, I mean, it's not pulling because you can't put hardly any pressure, and
It's
I mean,
like, well, because I went for fascia massages from a friend who was starting a naturopath business. She wanted me to come to test it out to see how it works with fibro. And it reminds me of the fascia massages. It's just like you're kind of
yeah,
pulling in like the underskin. Like fascia is like, it's
yeah,
like the wrapping around the muscles.
hmm,
So it's like you're kind of just pulling very slightly on the body to like move the fascia, but not the muscles.
yeah.
Right.
It's weird. It's very light touch, but it works.
It works, yeah. But it's like, but I've learned just to be, and I don't lift a lot of weight. That was one other thing, is that you can't lift a lot of weight.
Right.
And so I'm kind of funny about lifting stuff. Sometimes I lift stuff I'm not supposed to, but then I also pay for it then afterwards. But
Yeah.
I
Don't
was
we
like,
all?
I mean, people literally like, they're like, I cannot believe that you live with. I'm like, yeah, I had no idea I had that significant of an injury. And it was
Wow.
and that I was having migraines and cluster headaches because of carpal tunnel.
Carpal
It was
That's
like,
tunnel.
very interesting because I did break my elbow from falling on ice in the parking lot of my workplace, like in 2007 or something. And then I have the carpal tunnel. So, like, I'm going to talk to my pain doctor about that too, if that's maybe also adding to the migraines as well.
yeah, because I mean, they were surprised. It was like, I can't believe your migraines went. I mean, like, yeah, I haven't had headaches on. I mean,
So good.
I'll get one occasionally, but nothing like I would get them more often. And a lot of times they were
Mhm.
like, "Oh, it's a stress headache." I'm like, "No. If you've had a cluster headache, it's. I mean, I can feel
Yeah.
it coming on because it starts, and then you just feel it just.
Yeah, it
Just
just
starts.
Yeah.
spreads. Yeah, because
And
I get the migraines and the cluster headaches, and like I get all sorts of different ones, and yeah, it's just like
it move the way it moves is horrible. It's. I mean, and you can
yeah,
feel
yeah,
it moving in your brain, and it
Oh,
hurts
geez.
so bad.
yeah. Oh, and then the times where like my skin literally hurts because it's just so much pain. It's like making my skin hurt, and like I
Yeah,
can't wash my
and
hair,
then
wash my
and
face
then you're
or
just kind
anything.
of like I will sit
Yeah,
there and I'm just kind of like because I
yeah.
just
I just
gotta.
press
Yeah,
like
and you're
slightly
just like
down.
going back and
Yeah,
forth, just
it's
trying to
so
get.
tough.
Yeah, Jeff. Okay, this is funny. So men, if you have neck and back pain, Jeff will vouch for this because he never believed us in ICU units. If you have like pain, like back pain, neck pain, shoulder pain, even take Primusin or like menstrual
Like
cramp,
Midol.
like that
There's an
Myadol.
antihistamine in the women's ones like Midol. There's an
Yeah.
antihistamine, and that antihistamine helps with muscle
Yeah,
relief
but
and
it's the people laughing. It's like, no, in the
swelling and stuff.
ICUs
It
and
does,
critical
yeah.
cares, they will. I
That's
mean,
the I'm allergic to that antihistamine though. So like
yeah,
I remember I took it one time because I used to work at Walmart. Going back to the original thing, I can handle Walmart inside because I used to work there for a few years. So I've learned how to duck and dodge. But the first time I tried Midol was at Walmart, and I suddenly felt so sick. And then I called to my boyfriend or whatever at the time to come pick me up, and I was standing outside waiting for him. I literally fainted and passed out on the sidewalk, and
hey,
like I couldn't like it was I was like having a really bad reaction to the antihistamine. So yeah,
All
yeah,
right. So
Jeff.
yeah, I'll
At
stay
the
away
first
from that
time,
then. I'm
yeah,
allergic to
it was
everything.
so funny because the first time we told Jeff to do that, he's like, "Are you kidding me?" It's like, "I'm telling you." He goes, "I'm going to be a wuss." I said, "I'm telling you, it's going to work."
He's
And
gonna
so
be a wuss.
mhm.
yeah, and he took
Well,
it.
he says he grew a vagina. He says, but
Yeah,
they work.
but I mean, it actually, he was like, okay,
Poor
so
Jeff.
I don't need it. He needs it now, but we always have Maya. So I laugh because in
Yeah.
my little pill case, I always have Maya dog, and just in case he needs it.
Mhm.
But
I'll be darned.
It
uh,
does. It works. And there's something else that works for I read the other day, and I can't remember.
Hi,
I think it might have
Bill.
been like a toothache or something, or it was something weird. And I'm like, oh, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense because it's supposed to be like it's an antihistamine, but it causes swelling to go down essentially in your body. It removes swelling.
I know some people use Benadryl. Will actually take Benadryl if they have a toothache.
Yeah, I do take antihistamines all the time because my allergies are so bad. But like I get toothaches from my sinus cavities collapsed onto
Yeah.
my teeth. It's a mess. So I'll take an antihistamine, and it gets rid of a lot of the pain in the
Right.
teeth. But
Yeah.
I don't know if it's from the sinuses or from whatever, but also like because I find any teeth pain too, it's like Advils, things that are like anti-inflammatory is what works. Like
So
I
another
have
one,
opiates, but opiates don't do anything for tooth. Like it's
another thing, if you
Right.
take this is something that a lot of people will do too. If you take like an an antacid, like Prilosec or something, a lot of times they will give you
oh, that's what it
Prilosec.
was.
Yeah, and so a lot of
That's
times
what it was.
Prilosec
It's the
that will
antacid.
help with like
Yeah.
inflammatory, and like if you're taking like to add on to like a pain medicine sometimes that will
Mhm.
help as well. Like a lot of times people
I
don't
think
realize.
that's what I heard. I think that Nexium stuff,
Hmm.
the over the counter stuff, or
Yeah,
whatever, that has an antihistamine in it for the stomach thing.
and
That's what it was
people
that I heard. It was the
people
stomach.
don't realize that. Yeah, a lot of times when people have surgeries or they're having a procedure done, they will give them, even if they never take it, they always protect. I would say protect your nips. Jeff's not even in here.
How good
He doesn't have to worry about it. But they will, like, if you're having a procedure or something done, a lot of times they will give you Prilosec because it does settle you down with some of the swelling in that.
I wonder if that one's different than the Midol one. I'll have to keep that in mind. Yeah, to see if that one's maybe different. If I could try that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but it's just
because
crazy.
It's like just the Midol one is the only one that causes me issues.
Yeah, because I know some people will use the, like, I want to say it's Primacin. There will be another one that they use instead of the Myadol.
Interesting. So. Okay, I'll have to get some names from you after because I know I'll forget them. I'll write it down. Yeah.
Anything that helps is, I know, because I've been through it all too. The carpal tunnel in both hands and all of it. It's awful. Yeah. And I just think it goes along with all of us that have a chronic pain syndrome. You just tick off the boxes.
Chronic. Yeah.
Because eventually you're going to have something else going along with it. And
just randomly, like, I'll be making the bed and then it's like, oh, I mean, my back just went out. I'm fucked now for a week. Yep. And I was just like, I just felt like this with the sheets, you know? But yeah, no, the hot tub, it helps a lot. The only gym in my city that had a hot tub and a warm pool, because I used to go to the gym like 3 or 4 times a week, and I do the aqua exercise aerobic thing. There was aqua yoga, and then I do yoga. I've always done yoga. And then they tore down that gym from COVID, but that was the only gym that had a warm pool and a hot tub. And the only reason I could exercise so much is because of the hot tub. And I've tried going to gyms since then, and I can't, like, it puts me out and puts me bedridden from the fibro because I don't have a hot tub. It's like the hot tub is like such a helper with fibro.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Like,
I used to do, the aqua therapy and the water was warm in the pool.
Yeah.
And then they shut that down.
Warm. Yeah, and it's like they tore down the only good gym, and then all the rest of them have Olympic-sized pools, and I literally can't make it 15 minutes without shivering, and like I'm physically like shaking and I need to leave. And then it's like, and they have no hot tub, and a hot shower doesn't do it. Like, it's like I need the hot tub.
Yeah, you got to soak. Yeah, you got to soak right in it. Yep.
Yeah, if I had a hot tub, like, it'd be like, oh man, I could do like so much more. Hot tub is like magic for
That's why I told Jeff. I said I rather have a hot tub than a pool, because you can use a hot tub year round, because you can make it cold or you can make it hot.
Yeah.
And it's easier to clean too. Like, my brother-in-law had one, and he switched to the salt thing instead of like the chlorine.
Yeah,
and the salt is like way much better. It's actually nicer on your skin too.
I was gonna say,
it feels good. Yeah,
we went swimming in somebody that this was before, like, having the salts instead of the using the bleach basically to clean your pools.
Yeah,
they actually they had it way before, and we went swimming in it, and it was just so much more relaxing swimming in it than it was a regular pool.
So nice. Yeah. And I've talked to people that have moved out west, and just they're living on the coast, and the salt water comes in like it's in the air, right?
Yeah.
It's great.
With your pain, it helps with your joints and pain. And they're like, you would think the extra moisture would be a problem, but it actually helps. And I'm like, man, I really want to move out west. I've always wanted to move out west, but so expensive.
Yeah,
it is. We did when we took a trip one time. Towards the ocean, and it's amazing how much that salt water, the air, makes you feel so much better.
my favorite place, the beach.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the sinus,
funny.
It helps with the sinuses. Yeah.
But this is even funny too, though. Even if it's not like a beach that is like on an ocean where they have the salt water, if you go even to a beach, it's like the air is so different that you do get some relief too. It's like, because everybody laughs because we have kind of, it's like a private beach that we go to that hardly anybody goes to, and that's where I do like my grounding in that. And it's like the air, it just is totally different than when, and I mean, we live on the water here, but even going to that beach where you have the sand, you have the water, and it's just that combination. Even though it's not salt, it's a totally different.
And even like just living around the water, because like I've lived around the water my whole life, like always just like 5-10 minute walk. I can get to the lake, right? And one place we lived, and there was no lake or any water. First time ever in my life. We were there for like 2 years, and I just felt like totally off centered and like just not, I don't know. I didn't feel like good, and it was weird because I'm like, it has to be the water because I've lived near the water my whole life.
Yeah,
right?
the only thing
Yeah.
that sucks right now is that the mold and the algae is really bad. So it's like it's not
Yeah.
helping me. Now that we
Ours
found
got
out I'm
taken over
allergic to
by
like
zebra
everything.
mussels.
Yeah, I am, because I just got a respiratory test done, respiratory allergy test done,
Oh,
and we were like, okay,
mold.
let's see. Oh well, because yeah, we already knew mold without even doing this test. But like I'm
Mhm.
allergic to like everything, like anything that's a respiratory
Yeah.
allergy, I got it. So, and it's
Yeah.
not very high, but it's like enough of, well, pretty much everything, even dog hair. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
got dog hair. And I'm like, well, that ain't changing. Not
Yeah,
Yeah,
just take
when
a
I went for
Benadryl.
allergy testing. Yeah, they told me that I'm like, when I went for allergy testing, they're like, you're slightly allergic to dogs. I had like 4 dogs. I'm like, I'm not getting rid of my dogs, and they sleep in the bed. It is what it is, right?
Yep.
But I did 2 Shih Tzus who are hair, not dogs, so like they weren't as bad. But they like told me like I'm more really severely allergic to trees, and I live in Canada. Like even in the cities, it's still tons of trees everywhere.
Trees.
Right.
Um,
That's
Yeah.
bad.
And there's a mold that happens in the fall and in the spring that develops from the leaves and the
Yep.
moisture in the leaves, and that mold is
That's
like
my worst.
super bad. It's my worst. It's like that is the
Wow.
worst for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spring and fall are my worst because when
Yeah.
all the grass starts coming out and like grass is terrible. I was trying to help Jeff out and I
Grass.
went out to cut grass. I had to come in and hit my inhaler a couple times because I could not breathe. And it was like, all right, we can't cut grass anymore. But I literally like everything. It's like, oh my gosh. But in the fall, when those leaves start hitting, it is so bad. And
It's
I
rough.
find though, because for work right now, I'm not in Fremont, but when I have to drive to Fremont, I am driving through farms country. Like both
Oh, yeah.
sides is nothing but farms. And like even when I get up to work, it's all like we're around farms. And because I get it now in the spring and I get it in the fall. So the only time I like driving through that field, the driving there is in the wintertime because when there's nothing. Because as soon as they start,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, and you can even see it like the dust, everything, you can just see it. And yeah, and dust is my biggest allergy. So it's like, go figure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like during the spring to like until winter is like my migraines because I'm allergic to everything that's alive, right? And then during the winter, it's the fibro pain because man, that winter time is bad for us. So it's like I'm screwed either way. But I've talked to people that moved out west, and like there's something about the salt water. It doesn't hold the pollen the same. It doesn't hold certain things the same. Like you get a
Right.
break from a lot of the stuff. So it's like I'd love to move out west. So
Yeah.
also I did see someone mention float tanks. They
Oh
can
yeah.
too. Yeah, they help a lot.
We just got, that's something that's been around for about a year here, so it's kind of nice. And Bill, you can ask that question tomorrow.
Which one did he ask? Which one was
If
it
you
again?
change the cabin air filters in a vehicle.
Oh.
So yeah, tomorrow we're all gonna be there.
Also, I know we've got like way off topic, but like it's just funny because this is always the path of conversation that I have with all my other empath friends who have fibro and like all these other issues. Like it seems that we all have the same sort of deal, right?
Issues, yeah, all the same issues.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
so yeah, guys, don't forget about asking your questions if you have any. We'll answer
Yeah.
the
If
best
you have
that
any
we can.
questions, on topic or off topic, whatever.
Right, just
but-
throw them out there. Let's see. Yeah, Debunk says, yeah, he had literally moved thousands of miles and spent thousands of dollars due to complications of migraines. Yeah, I've had one in my life,
Yeah.
so I sympathize. I don't wish that on nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get like the actual term doctors use is the okay, we're using the YouTube term, unalive yourself migraines. There's like actually it's a term if you Google
Yeah.
it, like the K I
Yeah.
that term, and that's the ones I get. like I've literally been in like hospitals and stuff, just like asking them to do that. Just like I'm like, just take me out, please. I can't handle it anymore.
It's
And it was
funny
like
because at one
so bad.
point this was when I was a lot younger. I could not, and this was before they had a lot of the medications out there, like Emitrex and that. This was like I
Yeah,
took
techniques
Emitrex,
and stuff.
but before the Emitrex and that's when I was getting these horrible headaches. There was nothing out there to take to try to kill a headache.
God.
I came up with my own concoction and it worked. And people were like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like, "No, I don't know why it works, but it does." I would actually drink a can of Coke, take
Mhm.
2 extra strength Tylenol, and then I'd wait 30 minutes and take 2 ibuprofen, and then I would
Yeah,
drink
I
another
take them
Coke.
together.
And they were like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like, "No," and it
The
would work.
caffeine, sugar,
Yeah.
protein, Tylenol, and
Yeah,
Advil together, and then ice can help too.
yeah,
I have an ice
but
hat. I have a couple ice hats too. But
yeah,
no,
they would.
yeah, because
Yeah.
the caffeine it like opens your it, like does the thing with your blood
Yeah,
restriction or
Right.
whatever.
yeah, but people are like, "Are you kidding me?" I'm like, "No," and I mean, I'm like, I would drink a lot of Coke, but it was like,
Coke.
hey,
Yeah.
it would work, and
Yeah.
it was what I mean. It was enough to relieve the headache enough that I could actually function. So it was like, okay, so
My
Yeah.
mother-in-law used to use
Like for me,
Vicks,
it's
believe
like
it or not.
mm,
yeah, because I have like the menthol, like I don't like Vicks because it clogs my pores. So I have
I
a
can't
menthol
stand the
roll on or
smell of it.
whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, I love the smell of like mint.
You know, she used to put it right under her nose and then on her forehead. And
Yeah,
then she would
I do the
tie
same.
a bag around her head for pressure. And I'm thinking,
Yeah,
okay,
I'm the same. I have like a baseball cap and I like pressure it down. But now I have the ice
yeah.
hat, so that creates pressure. And if I put like menthol or whatever, or even just pure peppermint essential oil on my face, that stuff burns, but it can work.
I'll
So
be
I do
darned.
that. But like then I'll do coffee, and if I have ice cream, that's like the best one because it's protein and it's sugar, right? And it's cold because the cold just helps, right? But the coffee works really well. Coffee is very good, and you
Yeah.
want it hot because if you smell it, like if you take it
mhm.
into your nose, it like actually like opens up all your blood vessels in
Yep.
your face. You want to smell it and then drink it too, but you really want to smell it, right?
Right.
Because that can help with asthma as well. Coffee too. So.
Oh, yes. Yeah. I've heard that. Yeah. My mother-in-law, the pills that she used to take were actually just almost pure caffeine. I forget the
Yeah,
name of them, but
Yeah,
that's what they had her
yeah,
on.
I remember there was. Yeah, I remember caffeine pills.
everybody laughs because even like with ADHD, people don't realize they're like, "Oh, you're ADHD and you drink caffeine." I'm like, "Yeah, it's my dopamine fix."
Yeah,
There you
it's
go.
it's like 50% of the time it'll put me to sleep. So it's
Yeah.
like it depends if I'm having a
And
bad
that is funny
day,
because
right?
some people I know, it's like the caffeine, being ADHD, it's like no go. Other people, it's like, oh my God, I gotta have the caffeine. Because like if I
Yeah,
know my if I know my ADHD is off the hook, if I drink caffeine, I'm like, okay, it gets me
yeah,
back where I'm back in check. So I've learned to do
yeah.
some
And
really
well,
weird
same as
things.
like there's ADHD meds that are stimulants and there's ADHD
Mhm.
meds that aren't stimulants.
Yeah,
And some people with ADHD can't deal with stimulants. It makes them too wired,
yeah.
right?
Right.
And that's the same with caffeine with them too, but they can handle the non-stimulant meds.
Yeah, because I when I tried, I was on several different types of medication. None, I mean, for a while, Vyvanse was like okay, but even then,
That's
it's
what I take. It's
yeah.
great for me so
But
far.
then after a while, it was like it wasn't working, and they put me on. I'm like that ain't working. So I came up with my own way of dealing with and trying to figure out my ways to
Yeah.
deal
Yeah.
with.
Gotta figure out what works for
Well,
Yeah,
you.
and the thing when I was growing up, I drank so much coffee. It was so bad. And kidney things like run in my family. And then I started when I was in my 20s, started having a lot of UTIs, a lot of kidney problems, right? So I quit caffeine because that was 100% adding to the problems. And then that's sort of when my ADHD started getting worse. And I didn't really, like, I
Oh.
was self medicating with coffee throughout my whole high school and college time too. So it was like mid 20s. I quit caffeine, and then it was like, oh, okay. And then like it's just started getting worse as I got older. And then I went to my doctor, and I'm like, hey, I think I have ADHD. Like my teachers were trying to get it when I was younger too. And yeah, so Vyvanse, and that's working for me so far. So
Yeah, because I was in, because now that I'm older, I was probably in like second, third grade and should have been diagnosed with ADHD, but at that time
Yeah.
they didn't diagnose girls, only boys. And so I got completely
Yeah.
misdiagnosed until I was in my late 20s, almost 30, when
Yeah.
I
Oh,
got
wow.
diagnosed. And like I said, I did for a while try the medication. I was like, nope, this ain't working. I don't like the side effects. I'm just, I figured it out on my own, what works for me, how I can get through it. And there, so my
There it
daughter
is.
even,
That's thing.
now,
I think like because I have the extreme fatigue from the fibro, I think that's why the stimulants like work well for
yeah,
me, right? It's like
Yeah.
it just kind of helps me with the fatigue, and I don't really notice too much the like jumpiness.
Yeah.
It's a little bit there, but it doesn't bother me.
now even my daughter has learned, because my one daughter, she has, she's ADHD as well. And she's learned too, when she was in college, she took it when she was in college, because she was diagnosed when she was in grade school, and she'd take it through the
Mhm.
school year. We'd go off of it for the summer, because she
Yeah.
really didn't need to focus. And then we'd go, and she was on the Vyvanse. And so
Mhm.
then when she went to college, she did the same thing. She'd take it when she was in college, not in the summer. So then it's like, what happens when you graduate college, and do you need this for
Mhm.
work? And she actually, her first job, she did not have to use her Vive. And at first she had to, but she was able to wean herself off for her job. Then when she went back to
Good.
school for her master's, she needed to have that focus again. So she's learned
Yeah.
the same way to deal with it in everyday situations. But then you add that stress
Mhm.
of school, and then she needs to go
Yeah.
back on it. So it's
Yeah.
crazy, but you
And
learn
girls
to
usually
adapt.
get like diagnosed like when they're in college. Like it's usually when you're at that age because the
Yeah.
college work is so much.
Yeah.
Right.
The
Overwhelming,
only
yeah.
reason
Workload.
the only
Mhm.
reason I took Jenna is because what she was doing was things I was doing. And I was like,
Right.
yeah, I think we need to get her tested. And luckily we had a pediatrician that was really amazing, and she did
Awesome.
work a lot with ADHD children. So it was like, okay, because I told her, okay, I'm seeing stuff I did and I wasn't diagnosed, but I am now. And she's like, all right,
Yeah.
let's see. And she was like, sure enough, as soon as we took her, yep. And
There you go.
yeah, so we were fortunate that I had, because a lot of times if they're not showing like a lot of issues, is because she was an A student and she went down to
Girls
like a C
mask
student.
really well. Like
Yeah.
girls, we're
Yeah.
able to we push through because we're kind of just told to do that. Like between PMS and like
And everything else.
and we
Yeah.
gotta
Just make
compete
it
with
work.
men. It's like we
Yeah,
just
just
find
make
a
it
way,
work.
you know. Just
It's funny
that's what
too,
tends to happen. Yeah.
because she actually it's funny because we would never, like, we didn't put her on an AP or IEP. We didn't put her on that. Then they had another one that you could do just for certain things. We never put her on any type of plans. They were aware, like when we went to college, so they were put on aware, because obviously she had to have Vyvanse with her. So we made sure they were aware right off the bat that she was ADHD. But in elementary school, the teachers knew in elementary school, but when she went on to junior high, we never let any of the teachers know until she was through that almost the first quarter, and we were having parent teacher conferences, and then we'd let them know. And they're like, oh my God, are you kidding me? It's like, no. And they're like, well, you do an amazing job, because we would never have known. I said, but that's when they go, is that why she's so meticulous with everything? I said, yes, because literally open house, first day of school, before first day of school, we're in there. Every year we would go through and we would walk from what class to what class, and and then we would make a map, and it would be 3 layered for each level, and show her how to do it.
College, college, I had the map, and I'd like come with a plan, time traveling.
And so they were, because then when we would show them at the conference, we would show them it's like, well, have you ever seen her book? And they're like, no. And so she'd open it up and they're like, oh my gosh. It's like the one teacher, she was like, can we have this at the end of the year?
well, all of our
Jeez.
notebooks. So we have like color coding.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just, like,
Oh
But
my.
they were,
yeah.
I mean, they literally at the end of the school year, because they would all get their own little schedule books that were themed from their
Yeah, I
school.
love those. Those
And
are so good.
so
Yeah.
we would, like I said, on the inside of our cover, we'd have that map, and then we had everything like labeled, marked everything. And the one year they're like, can we actually keep her lat? Can we keep this at the end of the year just so we can show it as an example to other parents that are dealing with their kids
Yeah,
that
that's
need to help them? Because
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
and because it was like they were like, I would never have thought for these kids to think, because they didn't realize how anxious a child can be about worrying how they're going to get to their next class. And like we
Yeah.
actually worked through, okay,
Yeah,
say
all
you
the
can't go this way, then this is the way we would go. I think we spent
Yeah.
like 2 hours walking the school to make sure there was multiple ways we knew how to get to each class and how much time she had to get to
Yeah.
those classes. People are like, are you kidding? I'm
And
like,
I
no.
used to also like plan around because I don't like crowds and lots of people. So I'd also plan around on when everyone would be traveling, and I would go like 3 minutes after or something. Like I had like it timed where I could like
Yeah.
avoid the people.
Yeah.
too, right?
Well, and that was the problem with one of her classes. This was in her 7th grade year. We found, because it was after the first day, she came home in a panic. She's like, Mom, there's all these people coming down. I can't get up these steps. I said, okay, look at your map. Where's the next? And her class that she needed was just right up one floor and like right there. And she's like, what am I going to do? I said, think about it. Just look at your map. Where's the second place we told you could go? And so she was able to follow to that next step, go up those steps, and then just walk down the hall to get to the class. And she's
Nice.
like, and
Yeah.
she was just like, oh, okay. And so, but then she learned to figure out those steps. But
Yeah,
it was
like I was at my college for like I was there for 4 years, and like by the third and fourth year, I didn't need any of the planning. It's like I knew the layout and I knew how
Yeah.
people were and everything. And then I started teaching there, and I was also working at the library there for a bit too. It was like by then it's like now it's like a second home. And like
Yeah.
once you get kind of used to it, then you're like good. But yeah, the first couple of years it's like I got to plan.
Yeah, and it's crazy
Plan it
because
out. Yep.
the for
Yeah.
junior high we did that, and then her first year in high school we did it, and then she learned to do it herself because she was more comfortable, so she was able to do it the rest of her high school. She was able to, though
That's good.
I think her junior year we did have one problem because she had to go to another part of the like there's like a breezeway walkway and you have to get to, so she had to go from one end,
Yeah.
the very far end of one side of the building, all the way to the very end of that other building, and she only had like 8 minutes to do it.
That was my college
Yeah.
thing too. They did that to us all the time, and there was a breezeway, and it was really confusing of how to get to the breezeway.
Yeah, and it's that
And I'm
breezeway
like,
was
well, I just started going outside because I'm like, this is too confusing to me. So I
Yeah,
just
well,
went
that
outside
one
and walked through their building.
when she was there, their breezeway, it just was covered. It was open way, so it was just no walls, just straight through. And she would get stuck because there would be so many people. So, and that's kind of the path they had to use. Well, she learned if she would go out some other doors and just walk on the outside of it and then just
That's what I was
cut
doing.
back in.
Yeah.
She had to, that she could get there on time. But it was just like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. And so
Yeah,
that
whatever
was
works.
that was the only time she panicked about trying to find it. But then in college, she went to a smaller college, which was nice. And
yeah, my college wasn't huge. It's
it's a small college, so it was nice.
Still busy,
So,
but not,
yeah. So we actually we learned where all the buildings were, and she did that on her own. But then her sophomore year she was an RA, and then her junior year she was an RA, and then she was a residential director her senior year. So it's like, okay, so I mean but she knew how to cope with it, and then if anybody else,
and
she
helped
at least
anybody
could help
out.
them. So it made a big difference.
Yeah.
All right, we got some questions, girls. Roger wants to know what are your experiences with a gender pain gap?
I mean, yeah, like it's a tough one because women are definitely treated differently. If you get a male doctor most often, like you're kind of dealing with that, sometimes you can get a good one, but there's bad female doctors too, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, I don't know. I think it's like we can handle more pain than men because of our monthly disaster of
And
horrible
childbirth.
situation and childbirth, which I haven't done. I can't imagine. People have said like it's as bad as like a kidney stone or something like that, or a gallbladder attack or something. So like
It's worse.
it's like that. It's worse. Yeah, there you go. So
I've had both. It's worse.
so like between all that, I think like we have sort of a pain tolerance, or like we're supposed to fight through pain. You know, we're kind of raised to like deal with it,
Right.
especially like when you're I think it depends when you're like I was raised, my mom's very much feminist, so like it was very much like you need to be better than men, like you need to compete with men and show them that women belong in this world kind of thing. So it's like, okay, we can't really show weakness, so like we can't talk about our monthly thing, we can't use that as an excuse to miss class or work or whatever, right? Because we need to show that we're strong. So I think there's like a level of that, and when we actually say we're in pain, like we're in pain. Like, you know what I mean? And I think like some doctors don't realize, like when women say it hurts, like we're in like severe pain, like a man would be on the floor crying, you know. So I think there's like a level of that, and then there's some women that just like are not, I don't know how to describe. Well, I could, but it's political. But anyway, there's some women doctors that like don't jive with this, and like also don't take it seriously. And it sucks when you get one of those, because you figure out
Right, because they could be worse than the male doctors.
They are. Yeah, they are. At
they
least with the
are.
men, you're like, at least I know you're just coming from a place of ignorance and I can teach you, right? But when you get a woman doctor like that, it's like, lady.
And
are you
I had
serious?
Exactly.
Like,
Hi, Wiz. How's it going?
I had a PCP that was like that. She was a female doctor, and if I said I was hurting, she didn't believe me. And now she wanted to do is send me off to a specialist, because she didn't want. I'm like, look,
honestly,
that's not what I need.
that worked better for me though. Like specialists worked better for me than my GP. Yeah.
But the specialist she was sending me to weren't the specialists I needed to go to.
That's the thing. Yeah, you've got to definitely do your research. And also, if you can get a recommendation of a name of a doctor from a fellow pain patient, you'll be golden. Because once I got names, I was then on a path getting actual help.
Yeah.
But before that, they kept referring me to doctors that sucked.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Now being the perks of being in a large company, or I mean, basically our network, who I work for is a giant. They're like our biggest employer. I mean, you know who and who not to go to, even if they're not if they're the other rivals. Even, I mean, you know who and not to go to. I mean, you just learn, because there's some that like I mean, I picked some people think I'm crazy, but I picked the specialist my brother goes to because he's got a developmental disability, and not all doctors are going to treat him the same way as some other doctors. So I pick which specialist I want him to go to, because I know which ones are going to work with him really well, and who are going to be more accepting of what his behaviors are like, what his reactions are like.
Think outside the box with that stuff, right?
Yeah.
It's like for my mom, like when the EMS are here to help with something, I'll ask them, hey, like what person do you recommend for this, or what do you recommend for, because they're always out at these locations, right? So like I'll ask an EMS, or like we run into a really nice nurse at the hospital or something, I'll ask the nurse, right, for recommendations, like, because that's the best advice I was ever given by a doctor in the US, because I was saving up to go to a doctor in the US because I wasn't getting help here. And I spoke with one through it was like a webinar thing through like this msworld.org. So back in the day, like a help site, a self-help, like a whatever group help thing. And that's the best advice she gave, is like, get names of doctors, like get names of doctors that people have been going to. And that's where you're going to get help. Right. And get a specialist for every part of your body. That's the other advice.
Yeah. And it's funny because where I go for my orthopedic, I have 3 different doctors. I have one for my hands, one for my shoulders, and one for my knees. And now now I would have a 4th one for my neck. So I'm like, but they all specialize in something different.
Yeah.
But they're all orthopedic surgeons, and they're all in the same practice. It's just like when I had because I used to always go for knees. Well, then when my knees, I went to for my shoulder, the same guy did them. But now they've split it up, that they have their pinpoint focals. And so you go to that. Yeah. And it's a teaching college hospital, but I mean, it's down to a T of, okay, yep. And so you get more specialized care by doing that too. So, but
yeah, that's the key, is getting specialized care. If you can find someone who's a specialist in whatever area
and
you're dealing with, like, and I know like some people live in regions that just the doctors suck, and it really sucks when people are stuck in those situations.
another one that is good to ask a lot of times is if you're getting like any images done, you can ask those
Jimmy.
people. Those people you can ask, hey, who's a good doctor? Because
Yeah,
those people, I know some of the doctors I've
they
seen in
know.
the past.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
bedside manner
it's like
is
all the
huge.
yeah,
And they
it is.
usually are the ones that know, because they're usually going up there to do sometimes going up to the floors to do imaging, or like the way doctors respond to like messages and that, they usually are
Yeah.
the good ones to ask too.
Yeah, and it's like also some doctors just read the report of the imaging tech, but other doctors ask for the actual images as well. And
That's
those
what
are
we
the
do.
good doctors, the ones that
Yeah.
ask for the images, right?
Like,
My
Right.
neurologist asked for the images.
yeah.
So it's like that's where it's like, think outside the box. I mean, as any pain patient, talk to these people, talk to the technicians, talk to nurses, anyone who seems like empathetic, anyone who seems really good at their job, who's like, you know, not a doctor, right? Ask them for names of people like that.
Or
That's sort of what I've done, you
this
know.
is funny too. The people doing the registration, they will know too.
Yep.
Yeah, they know too.
They,
Yeah.
they will know. Like if you're
Hey,
in a
Big
if
Stu.
you're checking in at a doctor's office, or if you call a doctor's office, you can even say who's got the best bedside manner. If
Right.
you ask that,
Mhm.
usually you will get like sometimes like we'll have somebody call in and you can just
Sometimes they won't.
yeah.
Yeah.
But when you're like this, when I was doing scheduling, when they would call in, just by how they were talking, I could tell
Mhm.
who I needed to schedule them with, just knowing the
Right.
doctors, how the doctors are. You could
That's
easily
good.
know who you need to put in.
Not every secretary is like, not every administrator or whatever is that good too. So
Yeah.
just keep that
Yeah.
in mind.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, a
it's
lot
like
of them
you
won't
gotta,
talk either.
yeah, some of them won't talk bad about, you know, whoever, right? So it's
Yeah,
like,
they got to worry
that's
about
good
it.
that you did that, because you're like one of those people that go the extra mile. It's like the
Yeah.
administration
No, you
at my
got to. You
pain
have to
clinic
take
is
control
like
of your own
that.
health
Yeah.
care. So
Yeah.
that's just a
Yeah,
given.
that's the biggest thing. Like, I try to remind people, is like, your doctor doesn't notice, like, he sees you for 2 minutes. Like, he's
Yeah.
not paying attention to everything. Like, you need to be your own advocate. You need to keep track of it, and you need to stay on top of it, and you need to
That's
call
right.
around, and you need to do the
That's
legwork.
right.
Your doctor nowadays, doctors are not going to do that, you know.
No.
No.
You've got to do it yourself. So
Wayne's got a question. He says, is there any advice you could give to people helping them to sleep without taking sleeping pills?
Yeah, I do. So this is something I do to try to get myself to sleep. And I've talked about this before. It's kind of a what do you want?
Band-Aids.
What?
Band-Aids.
Oh. Um
The hell's he doing to himself?
I have no
yeah, he
idea.
hurt himself.
So once you're in bed,
He
get
wants
yourself-
Dana's attention.
I know he's not getting
It's for
it.
my-
So
It's for my vagina.
he said it's for his vagina.
Oh,
That's bad. He only needs a Band-Aid, right?
yeah, right.
So what I do is when you get comfortable in bed, when you're ready to go to bed, make sure like you're ready for the night, just have everything turned off. What I do is I pick a number that I want to start from. I've always started at 100. You can go higher than that if you want, but I start at 100, and I will say the number inside my head. I'll say like 100. Take a deep breath in through my nose and then exhale out of my mouth. And then once that's completely exhaled, I will say 99. And I focus on the breath more so than the thinking of the number. I've never gone below the 80s when I've done this. And I usually will put me safe. If I wake up then in the middle of the night again, for some reason, say I get maybe 2-3 hours of sleep, I can do it again. And it's a good way. This is crazy. Another way, if you have somebody that's with you, randomly weird. It works on children, it works on adults, and it works on dogs. If you rub yours right through here, just slowly, just the bridge of your nose, and then you can even just have somebody like rub this way, like on the eyebrows, and then this way. That will help you to fall asleep too.
Interesting. Yeah, like your number thing is like that's what I'm sort of trying to do. It's like resetting your thought or something. There's like an actual term for it.
Yeah.
Like because with the ADHD and everything else, I have tons of insomnia problems. So what has like most stuff doesn't work for me. I do like try like sleepy time tea that works better than sleeping pills. Sleeping pills just don't even work. Like they've been giving me prescription stuff, not doing anything anymore. They've told me I have to go for CBTI, which is CBT insomnia therapy, and it's $150 an hour. And I'm like, no, that's not happening. So yeah, I do take magnesium glycinate. I do take that. But what I've been doing now is I read another way because numbers don't really do it because I used to meditate a lot and everything, and I do yoga, and that number thing was like that's a meditation, right? But I find I'm so filled with anxiousness and anxiety with life right now. It's like meditation's not working. So I'm doing this other thing where I take the letter A, and then you start saying words that start with an A. You know, like apple, ant, art, aardvark, just all over the place, right? And then when you kind of run out, then you go to B, and like Bob, bat, cat. Okay, if I said cat, now I'm on to C, and I kind of just do that, and it like stops you from thinking about daily life, and you're just thinking about stupid random stuff, and it'll put you to sleep. And I do find that is helping. There's some days that my intrusive thoughts just can't they take over the letter thing, but when I'm able to do the letter thing, it does work. I've not really made it past E. I think E's like the highest that I've gone, and then I fall asleep. Yeah.
Also, the magnesium, if you get like a lotion that has magnesium in it, you can actually rub it on your feet at night. Jeff does that every night for me. And it works
it needs to be
well.
glycinate though. It needs to be glycinate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that works really well as well. I usually do that. They do have some like there's a lotion too that's a bedtime lotion, and it's just more natural. Like
lavender.
Yeah, it's got lavender.
The lavender bedtime lotion.
Well, it's something else.
Lavender gives me migraines. I can't do everything. Sleepy time is lavender, and I'm like,
right.
Like I'll get a migraine.
I can't remember something. There was something else.
Valerian's the other herb. Valerian is the other herb.
This one has something else. I'll have to look up, but it was lavender and something else, and it works like really well. And I would actually put it in my I would actually just put it like in my purifier in my room and just let it go. And it like I would start it like an hour before I'd go to bed, and it would be enough by the time I got to bed. It's just really.
There's also like lemon balm is another one. I have like a list. So, like my mom's a master herbologist. Like I know about all the herbs, right? Herbs, whatever, however you want to say it. So like I have a list of ones that work. They work well to calm me down a little bit. And then also there's other like things you can take as well that are supplements, but if you have ADHD, they can wake you up because it's also like a dopamine creator. So just keep that in mind when you do use any supplement. If you have ADHD, if it says like if it's a stress release or a calmer, that could wake you up, like bing, you're awake, right? So just keep that in mind too with some of the herbs and some of the
I carry a lemon balm stick in my purse. If I'm out somewhere and I get stressed, I rub it on my wrists.
So nice.
It works.
Yeah, lemon balm is so nice. And lemongrass. I love lemongrass too. But
me too.
Yeah, it's so nice. And the other one I really like is I like mint and peppermints. It calms my migraine head, and like I think that just helps me.
It just makes you calm.
Yeah.
One of my scents that calms me is frankincense and myrrh. People are like, "Are you kidding?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's like it's one
strong.
of those."
It's strong, but it works.
But it's like that is one that I could literally fall asleep to. Just if I have that going, if Jeff has it going out here, I can. It's just like and because it lasts so much longer, so once it's out, it still lingers for quite some time. But that can knock me out too.
James, if
Yeah,
I like it, I'm putting it on the screen. No, go
if
ahead.
it's peppermint for me, peppermint will definitely help me sleep, but I think a lot of that is related to my migraines and putting like mint stuff on and cold stuff and then like falling asleep, with it. But yeah, that'll help me fall asleep for sure. Yeah. I love
Also, a fan works. Actually, a sound machine does work too.
Sound machines,
We
yeah.
Oh,
randomly
also
weird.
there's channels that do like
Yeah,
different background noises, like
yeah, I
depending on what
do.
works for
I
you.
do that at night. I will have different like YouTube on YouTube. Actually, my YouTube channel, I do have stuff listed on there of different things that you can do with the different sound waves and that do help with sleep.
Mhm.
But
Then you get those
um,
story times with Matthew McConaughey. He'll put you
yeah,
to sleep.
yeah, what was
That
I gonna
voice of his.
I forgot what I was
You were
gonna
talking about microwave. You said
What-
microwave.
Oh no, the sound wave.
Sound waves.
The sound machine. We laugh because the only one I
Oh,
can listen to now I would love the beach one. Love the beach one. Because I could that for everything. Unfortunately, the only one I can play because Bubba's not terrified of it. Because I could do the thunderstorms or the rain, all that stuff. It would put me to sleep. A campfire. It's the only
yeah,
one
that's what I have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's what I have to do. Yeah, because like thunderstorm stuff used to put me to sleep, and then I started waking up in pain from the fibro. My fibro thought it was
Yeah.
raining all night. It's like weird, and like now that's all I can do is campfire, and it's
Well,
like there can't be any water, and it's got to be like a similar sound the whole time. Like if it interrupts the sound every 10 seconds with like a splash of a wave, I'm like, oh, that's waking me up. So it's like campfire. I love
yeah.
campfire.
No, so but we laugh
Oh,
because
and
of styles.
crickets too. I
Yeah,
mix that in with
because of
owls.
there's no there can be no crickets, there can be
Yeah,
nothing but the
same.
crackling of the fire, and we laughed, and it's all because Styles is afraid of everything else we have on there. It's like, are you
Oh,
kidding me?
that's funny.
So Styles
So
gets a fire, a camp, but then it's funny because if we go outside and have the fire pit outside, he's terrified of it. It's like, but you'll listen
Oh,
to it on the
jeez.
stupid sound.
Right.
yeah, but he's probably like scared because he knows it's hot. Like you know what I mean?
Hi,
So
Leanne.
yeah.
He's
I put on
So
Jimmy Ghost Quest Jimmy's voice. I'll lay down at night and put his show on, and I tell you, it only takes like 3 minutes.
I do okay. I do sometimes fall asleep to Bailey Saren, her like dark history stuff.
Yeah.
That voice. There's a couple voices that can put me to sleep sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also if you have Spotify, there's a channel called Deep Sleep Sounds. And they do like the most random stuff. Like they do all the beach stuff, but they do like brown noise. They're like, there is a microwave sound.
Yeah.
There's like there's literally the most weirdest sounds. Cicadas. I like cicadas.
They
Yeah.
even have like cars driving by. The like
Yeah.
that thump thump
Yeah.
thump thump thump. They have
Cozy
that.
fireplace with a snowstorm. That one.
Right.
There's like there's
different
Yellowstone Park,
fans.
and there's the Amazon forest, bubbling hot spring. Oh, cracking ice underwater, the cracking of the ice
Yeah.
noise.
But yeah,
everything.
the ones I have on mine, that's like you have like different types of fans. I mean, it like
Yes, they do that
weird
too.
thing,
They
very
have
weird
different
things.
levels. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just water turned on
Like,
and sink running.
Um,
It's like
rooftop HVAC white noise. They have one just that. Like, you know what I mean? It's so funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do the campfires, different campfires. But the other ones that I actually find helps put me to sleep best is also the boring history for sleep. I love that. I love those. His voice is very calming, and I love history. And then there is the guy named Jason something. He does like meditation things, and there's a pain one that he does that you like. He does a guided meditation, walks you through pain. There's
Right.
one particular one that is really good. And it's got like a pink thumbnail on it, and he takes you to like this Greek goddess of like pain relief or pain or whatever, and then she takes away it's very nice. I do that sometimes, and that helps with the pain because sometimes you get pain insomnia where you can't
Right.
sleep so much pain. That's what I had last night. That one's a tough one. Yeah.
All right, James wants to know if you have heard of the 4D music.
yes.
It's a music for ADHD.
And it's
people.
crazy because when you do it,
Yeah.
you're like, what? And it's like so crazy. The first time I did it, I was like, but I'm like, oh, it makes so much sense to me. And it calms me. It like calms me immediately. It's like, okay. And it does, because they say you should listen to it with headphones on. Yes, you can listen to it
Yeah.
without headphones, but if you do, you want to have it like under your chin, because then you do get the purpose of what they want you to do. But it's even better if you put headphones on. Oh,
Ah.
Yeah, like you want to wear headphones for like the surround sound kind of deal with
Mhm.
those style of
and
music.
but
It's
it's
like,
so crazy, because if
yeah.
you've not had it happen, it's like the sound is bouncing back. Like you're hearing the whole song, but you're hearing some of it in your right ear and some of it in your left ear, and it kind of bounces back, like back and forth, and
Right. Yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah.
it's so cool.
Yeah, like that wouldn't help me sleep. That's just kind of, it can help like with concentration and
Yeah, I
stuff.
don't do it for sleep, but I do, like, if I'm like really getting anxious and just not able to focus at work, I can go like literally I'll go in the bathroom. That's when I have to hold it, because I don't have my headphones with me. But I will sit there for like maybe just 5 minutes, and it's like, okay, I'm good. I can go back now. What do you want, Bubba?
Right.
Why are you
Now, do you
back?
find, like, with your empathic abilities, do you find sleep is sometimes an issue?
Yeah, like I don't I know I've heard that people who are empaths can get this, but also people who have ADHD or neurodivergent, the middle of the night, man, is just like you're wide awake. You want to do everything at the middle of the night, right? Like you're
And
so good and you're
that
so like on the ball in the middle of the night, right?
Yeah, and it's funny because I found that a lot of empaths and divergent people will have where they are third shifters, because they function better at on thirds than they do during the day.
Yeah.
And I used to be
Yeah.
like, when I found out I was ADHD, I was a third shifter, and it took me a very long time to get back on being a first shifter, and I've adjusted to it, but I have days that I'm like, I've not been getting a lot of sleep for like the last month. I'm only,
Yeah, it's
I
a
mean,
stress from
Right. Yeah. Well, you guys got so much
yeah.
going
yeah.
on. You're
I mean,
just,
I
you're
literally,
on overload.
yeah, I've only been sleeping like a couple hours. I'm up, and then I'm up for like 3-4 hours,
Wow.
and then I'm back down for like maybe an hour, 2 hours. After my Reiki session Monday, I did sleep I slept a total of 5 hours straight,
Oh,
which
good for
was
you.
like, oh my gosh, thank gosh. But then yesterday I was up at 12:30. So I, of course, then, well, oh, wait, there's a meteor shower going on. Let's go watch the meteor shower. So I went outside for about an hour and watched a meteor shower. And then I came back in and laid down and slept for about 2 more hours. I was like, oh,
Mhm.
maybe I should get up.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
Yeah.
know.
That's
tough
my
'cause,
sleep
like
pattern.
it's like the middle of the night, you have like this like guilt that you should be asleep. So you just kind of stay in bed. But it's like if I
Yeah.
got up and just worked, I would probably get all my work
Yeah.
done, right? But it's
Right.
like you develop this weird like I don't think I should get up. I think I should keep trying to sleep. And that's what like life has always been for me, right? And it's like, yeah, I've always asked for like closing shifts and I've never done well with day shifts. What ends up happening with me is I go like too long because the fibro can cause like
Yeah.
major chronic burnout, like fatigue, right?
Yes. Total fatigue.
And
Yep.
so if I'm on a day shift, like I end up like only doing a couple hours sleep and a weekend sleep doesn't count, doesn't make up for it. And I'll just crash. And then I'll spend like a week or two where like I'm sleeping 15, 18 hours and then I miss work. And then it's like, and
Yeah.
yeah, I've
Right.
never been able to adapt to daytime shifts like well at all. I always end up crashing or like burning out of the job very quickly just because of the shift, just because
Yeah.
it's daytime.
Right.
It's
Yeah. I
funny.
crash every day about noontime.
It's funny because
Yeah.
with me being so tired, luckily I have things that I have to do right after work. So I'm not coming home and taking a nap. And then I can at least go to bed, and I'm getting that 2 hours before I wake up.
Yeah.
But it's funny because then when it comes to Saturday, if I don't have any, I mean, Saturday, I'm sleeping in. I'm going to bed. Weirdly, I'm going to bed a little bit later. I'm going to bed like at 10, but I'm staying to sleep. I'm sleeping in till almost 10. So I'm getting like that time in, but I'm still up and down all night long, but I
Yeah.
don't get myself out of bed. So it's like I'm kind of getting it caught up, but not. But then I find on
Yeah.
Saturdays and Sundays about 3 o'clock, I take a 2 hour nap, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Some actually though the last weekend, I think I took like 3 or 4 naps throughout the day. just trying to catch up.
Yeah.
And it's been like,
Napping is like super bad if you have like you really should avoid napping if you can, for sure.
yeah, but it's just I'm just been that exhausted.
Yeah,
that
you just can't move.
Yeah. And so it's just been, so I'm hoping since my Reiki session, I hopefully will be on this weekend. We'll be back on track. Well, I have to be because Boo's got to go to the vet
Like,
on Saturday.
you could even try like, because it might even not just be the Reiki doing it. Like I'll tell you, like it's probably just because you're being still and calm. Like you're meditating during the Reiki session.
Yeah.
So like you can do yoga, or what I like to call is active meditation, where you're doing something but you're relaxing and you're not thinking of anything while you're doing it. That's still meditation, as long as your thoughts are not flying.
No, I've actually started back up
get,
with the meditation at night, because I actually kind of, like I said, I shut myself completely down, wasn't even doing meditation, anything. So and just kind of, but I'm like, I'm noticing that I'm getting better since I did my Reiki session, and I started doing my meditation at night again. So I'm like, okay. So now I'm like, my next step is this weekend, I have to go to my happy spot, which is the beach. And maybe once I do that, I will be back on track and I will get some sleep where I'm not waking up every couple hours.
Right.
Yeah. It's
fibro,
hard. Like with fibro,
it's very hard.
You can't.
Once you are in a calm
track,
sleep, you get woken up because of the pain. So it's, that's what
I mean, if
go
you're having
through.
pain insomnia, I have some nights of the pain insomnia. Like last night, it was bad leg pain. Anything leg, like it, I can't sleep through it. It wakes me up. I can't get it to stop hurting. It's just like pain, legs, and they aren't hurting as bad as other parts of my body hurt with fibro, but it's like a really annoying pain that wakes me up. It's like,
you looked at, have they done like restless leg syndrome? Because I know a lot of people with fibro have. Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of people with that. Because sleep apnea,
I
have it.
I wrap my legs. I have a weighted blanket. I have baclofen as well as a medication. It works 50% of the time. And I have like 6 different lotions that I put on, pain lotions I put on that work too. So, but it's just like last night it was so bad that I had to actually wrap my legs and put on like compression socks. And they say not to fall asleep in them. So I was also panicking about falling asleep, because you're not supposed to fall asleep in them. But I just, as soon as I took them off, I would fall asleep and then I wake up an hour later in pain. So I was like, fuck it. And I just wrapped my legs, and like I fell asleep with my legs wrapped, but I didn't put on the compression socks. So
RLS is rough. I mean,
I can't use the weighted blanket. I can't use that at all.
Yeah, when you
it hurts.
We have patients come in.
I only put it on my leg, like my lower. It's like kind of like right above my knees and down, and stick my feet out, because otherwise I feel trapped. But yeah, that's the only part, just my legs, and that's thing. It's I very spot treat the area.
Yeah, a lot of our patients that come in with the restless legs, I mean, the stuff they tell you, I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't imagine how the things that happen when they're trying to wake up. It's like, oh.
Yeah, legs are like, it's so weird, because I'm like, I tell my pain doctor, like, the pain isn't that, it's not like a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But it's like, it doesn't, all my other pain like kind of throbs, and I could like move a position and it'll stop for like 5 minutes, and then I move another position like that. It's like moving gives it a break. But leg pain, it like doesn't stop. And then like it feels like a 10 when it finally annoys me to the point of like waking up. Like then it feels suddenly like it's a 10. And then if I move around a little bit, then it starts going down in pain. But it's like, okay, then I fall asleep again, then it's back up again, right? So yeah, it sucks.
Right.
Medical marijuana, I'm allergic to weed. I don't like it anyway, but yeah.
I will tell you, that's how I broke. I had a doctor a long time ago get me hooked on pain medicine. And literally he was like, because this was before it was an issue, or they didn't know it was an issue, and they would just write you off like 90 at a time and no big deal.
Like that's why we have the crisis. It's not because of like
he made me an addict
or whatever. It's because doctors were like, not ethically prescribing. They weren't like
Yeah.
keeping an eye on their patients. They weren't like controlling the medication. And now people who are in
Yeah.
pain are struggling to get opiates
Yeah.
Yeah, we
because
can't get them.
the other doctors that screwed us before, right? I got them, but like it was tough
Yeah.
to get. And
Yeah.
being
Yeah,
when
I
was
had
younger,
them, and then
being
they
so
took them
young,
away.
Yeah. I know
Yeah.
for me,
the US
For-
is bad right now for it. I
yeah,
feel.
it's for me to break the pain cycle, because I mean, I was just like, I probably at that point was taking at least 10 to 12 Vicodin a day, and it wasn't cutting the
Oh,
pain.
wow.
So he literally
Yeah.
was like, he goes, this was before it was medical marijuana was safe too. And he's like, smoke some weed. I'm like, what? He goes, well, we need to get you off the pain, or the painkillers, so you can go back to work. Smoke some weed. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm like, he goes, go get some weed, couple puffs a day at night. And eventually, and it took me about a couple weeks, and it was like I was off the pain meds. So, but now I'm very funny about like, the second doctor that did my knees, that does my knees and my shoulder, he literally got me on a really good program of not getting me addicted to pain. Like if I have a procedure done, I get most of the pain medication I'm going to get before I leave the hospital, either through injection or through IV. Then usually within 2 days of after the procedure, I'm off all pain medicine. And people are like, are you kidding me? I'm like, for me, it works. I had a doctor that worked with me to make sure that my pain management was, because that was my biggest fear, was getting addicted to pain medication again. And he was like, no,
Yeah.
this will work. And
like
it's a crazy thing, but the way I literally, he has it in my chart, so that every time I have a procedure, I'm like, look at this. This is what we need to do to manage my pain after the procedure. And it's like every single time.
Yeah. And this thing, like, not everyone needs to be scared of opiates, right? Like, because not everyone has an addictive personality. Not everyone will get addicted.
Right.
Like, it honestly sounds like you don't actually have an addictive personality. Just you were taking the medications, without realizing that it was addictive.
Yeah.
And you get not addictive, you get physically dependent. There's addiction, which is the disease of like wanting to get high or drunk or whatever. And then there's physical dependence, which is your body becomes physically dependent on the medication. And
no, I was like, I was addicted.
But were you like, were you like abusing the meds, like crushing them, hoarding them and stuff? Oh,
I mean, like,
okay. So that's addict behavior. Yeah.
Because at one point, I literally would be going to my primary and asking for the same medication I was getting from my ortho.
Yeah.
So
And
I need to get it.
Thing, like if you have like a good doctor that walks you through it all, like you can manage it, like, because like I'm on opiates permanently, right? I have a very good pain doctor, and I have a system, and I detox from my meds once a month, 1 day a month, like detox, and that resets my opiate receptors. Not everyone can do that. A lot of people takes longer than a day. Me, I only need a day, maybe 2 days. That's it. And it'll reset me for the next month, and I'm good to go, right? Because I like, he will not change my medication. Like nobody will give me any more than what I have. So like, and I've been doing this for like 10 years. So it's working for me.
Yeah.
So like, just keep in mind, like opiates do work for some people, but it's because of the past of these doctors prescribing without at all checking in on their patient or doing anything. Like it's ruined it for people that can actually benefit from it. But also there's 2 other medications that people are trying out of the box. One is ketamine injections. You go like every 3 months. That's supposed to work really well for fibro. I've been offered it as well, but I need like a driver because you can't drive yourself, right? The other one, this is the opposite opiates. It's called low dose naltrexone or something like that. LDN, if you Google it. It is an opiate antagonist. It's what they give you when you're ODing, but they give you a very low dose of that stuff. You know, that spray that they put in your nose? You take a very low dose of it, and you take that permanently. You take like 2 milligrams or something, then you raise up to like 5 or something like that. It resets your opiate receptors and makes you the opposite. So opiates won't work on you anymore. But the naltrexone or whatever, it actually acts as a painkiller once your opiate receptors have flipped. And it's not you can't abuse it. It's not a narcotic. It just changes the opiate receptors, the chemicals in the way that they work in your body. And there's a lot of people on fibro and with chronic pain who are doing that now. And it's a rough ride to get your body to flip. Like the first month is tough, but after that, then you're good to go. So like that's another option for people too. If they are addict, like if they have an addict personality or genetics, you can try the LDN, the low dose.
Yeah.
naltrexone.
We're
But
fortunate.
it's for chronic permanent pain though.
We're
Yeah.
fortunate with the organization I work for. We really stress pain management for anyone that's going to need any type of long-term pain management. They have to go through the pain management program. They have to sign pain management contracts.
Yeah,
And
I sign the
people-
contracts.
yeah.
I have to fill out paperwork every 2
Mhm.
weeks, document my pain levels. I have
Yeah.
to clean the cup every 2 weeks. Like,
And
yeah,
it's that, and even if like, but it's nice too though, because even if a doctor, like say your primary has to, it might be a short-term thing that you need pain meds for. Same thing, rather than going through the pain management because you're only going to be on it short term, you still have to sign that contract. And it's just like it, I mean, and but then they spill it out. Okay, you're going to have this many pills for the first 2 weeks. Then you only are allowed this many. Then you're only allowed this many. So they give you what you need to know. Say, okay, so I need to be off of my pain meds by this time so that I'm not going to get it. And it's like, and it does make a huge difference if people follow
like
it.
when you have a plan, it's like, when you have a plan, like, this is how many you're going to get. You're not going to get any more than this. So you've got to make them last.
That is to make them last.
It's
Good
like,
night, Roger.
there's
Thanks for joining
hours-
us. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, Roger. Like there's
Thanks,
hours
Kat,
in
you
the day
too.
Night.
where I'm in pain, and I just have to push through those hours. It's like I just gotta wait and push through them because I only have 3 pills for the day. So it's like, okay, it's the morning. It's always the morning, and I just push through and I wait until like I take like my long acting, and sometimes I'll take like a half of like one of my fast acting, but I try to push through to like 8-9 p.m. And then that's because once nighttime hits, like, no, that's when I need meds, right? So like during the day, it's like I just try to push through because at least if I know there's like an end of the day relief happening. So it's like
that's what I used to do. I would wait all day and then take them before I went to bed.
It's
but
like
they still ended up taking them away. So now I just suck it up. So
and that's
all I can do.
And nothing like in the States, they are open to LDN because it's the opposite of opiates. It's an option if they if they took those away from you.
My problem is I'm finding every new thing I take, I'm allergic to. So
you really shouldn't be allergic to this, but they can test on you, but you really shouldn't be allergic. If you were fine with opiates, you'll be fine with this.
I haven't been back to like pain management for a while because I'm just disgusted. So
this is new. This is a new treatment that they're trying, and they're finding that it is working, especially for fibromyalgia patients. So I do recommend that you talk to your doctor about it. And ketamine as well. Like also, like if you've ever been under anesthesia and stuff, like chances are you're not going to be allergic to ketamine. If you aren't allergic to anesthesia, you're not going to be allergic to ketamine, because that's another one too that works really well apparently, especially for fibro as well. And in the States, it's easier to get ketamine, and it's very easy to get the LDN because LDN is not an opiate. It's like the opposite of opiates, right? Yeah, so I do recommend checking out. Just if you want LDN, it takes a while to get used to. Your body will hurt like hell for the first month because it's
it hurts like that anyway. So it would be nothing new. But seeing that we got a little off subject, guys, I'm glad that y'all joined us. Any last minute questions before I let these ladies go? It's getting late, and I know everybody wants to pop over and check out Fantastique because I believe she just went live.
Did she go live? Okay,
Yep. So if not, please remember to subscribe to Florio's Phantom Files. Fantastic information she puts out for everybody. Also, Mrs. Boo, correct?
Yep.
Paranormal, or Mrs. Boo Productions, Paranormal Toledo. Her first show is tomorrow night, you guys. Please stop in, support her channel. Just like we try to support everybody's channels, we would really appreciate it. You guys are the best.
You have your own channel?
Yeah.
She started
Yeah.
her own.
What we're doing is that
Okay.
Jeff is going to have more of like the paranormal, more serious stuff. And my channel is going to be like the more skittish stuff and more of the comedy kind of stuff. But I mean, I'm still going to have guests on. Like tomorrow I have carburetors and coffee. Bill is going to be on
Yeah.
with me. But then I know I'm going to probably do like Dawson. I know Laura's going to come on. I have several other people that said they wanted to be guests. So I think we're going to start mine out like every other week on Thursdays, just until we start getting going. And then if we see how it's going, then we might just start doing it every Thursday.
Yeah,
So
keep it going.
Okay.
So it would be Mondays, Jeff and I together with Boo. And then Thursdays, just myself. So, because I told him, I said, I'm funny. So maybe people will watch me more than him.
Oh.
I did tell him, I said, wouldn't it be funny if
Oh my
my
goodness.
channel was a hit faster than the Boo channel? He goes,
Right.
that would be
A high
okay.
graduate.
He was
Right.
like, that would be okay, but then he goes, that would be kind of wrong at the same time. That just,
Yeah. Aw.
you never know.
Hi, Sarah.
Also, I saw your message in the chat, Jeff. I do know about that information too. This is crazy. I don't know when people are going to release it. It's crazy. Yeah.
So yeah, everything's been going
It is-
crazy here tonight anyway, but I appreciate everybody hanging with us. And remember, please, you get over to Dana's channel tomorrow. What time is it?
7.
7:00.
Yep.
So we can't forget about
right.
that. And just please remember to hit the like button, the share button, and comment. It's the spiel, guys. You know how that is. Also, yeah, my merch shop is open. If nobody knows, it is open. Please check it out. Let me know what you guys think. Actually, I just got my stuff today. So there's one of the
Oh, nice.
Oh, cool.
Isn't that
Cool.
So I
Nice.
thought that was pretty neat. So just check it out. Let me know what you guys think. If it's crap, let me know. Until then,
Aw.
please remember everybody to live life a little bit on the raw side. Thank you, ladies, and we'll see everybody soon.
All right. Have a